Hello everyone and welcome back to the Summoners War European League. It is of course myself, Sam, joined by the king of S1 damage himself, Mr. Seishizo.
Welcome guys. Looking forward to some crazy matches here today. Hope you're all excited.
Yeah, I hope you're all excited because we're just as excited. We're now on to League Day number 5 of this Summoners War European League, which is obviously, it's been a long road so far, but there's still plenty of more chaos, craziness, some brilliant matches to come, and that's why we're here today to show you what is left on the table for all of these players. Say we've seen a lot of players now, we've seen all of them play a lot of different combinations of matches so far. How are you finding it?
Definitely still liking it a lot, and we've been going over the format, and for me especially this format, it's so nice about having like those best of ones, having those back and forth matches, where it's two very different matches going into it. But you're the best at explaining all of this, so I'll let you do your thing.
Yeah, for sure. As you can see, guys, we've explained it many times now, but it is a best of 2 between the players that are playing everybody once during the league, and that will give you points. Each set win is a point on the leaderboard, and the more points you can get, the higher you want to be to get into that top 8 out of our 12 European players. Getting into that top 8 will make sure that you guarantee a place in those playoffs, which will be coming very soon. And in the playoffs, we will have further best of 5s all the way through to best of 7s. Obviously, the higher that you rank or finish in the leaderboard, the better seeding you will have going into that tournament itself. And 10,000 euros up for grabs for some of these players. Say that's a lot of money to be playing for, meaning that it's really important to get those points. And as you were saying there, it is a battle of kind of 2 halves in each of these matches. You have that first set where it kind of dictates the play. The second one to either bounce back or extend that league. You were saying you really like that best of 2.
Yeah, definitely.
I think our players too, right?
Yeah, I definitely do think the players like it too, but I'm also very curious to see, like, we're going closer and closer to those playoffs. And playoffs, we have seen best of 5s in SWC, in prelims, and all of those kind of things. However, we haven't really seen best of 7s. And I definitely want to see like how a best of 7 plays out. If you really see like a different style of back and forth where you don't really get the repeat battles, or do you just get like a bunch of repeat battles? That's definitely a format I would like to see work out. And that's what we're getting in just about a few weeks.
Exactly, we will be here to see that. You can see in front of you as well the current standings of our Summoners War European League table. Paic sitting very nicely at the top of the leaderboard at the moment with Nicest Micer, Adrey, Hanselot and Guts the Berserk there in the current drop zone, let's call it, say. How do you find that lineup so far?
Yeah, it's definitely, well, we do expect Obaba to be there. In the end, he has the legend title, so we definitely do expect him to be here. But on the other hand, Hanselot is sitting as high as him in the leaderboards right now, or, well, pretty much as Pinkroyd. I think those are the 2 highest from Europe in the current leaderboards. But Hanselot is currently ranked 10th, so it doesn't always say something. So it's a kind of bit of everything.
Exactly. It's very different from what you might see on ladder. There is the pre-bans in the Summoners War European League. You can coordinate how you're going to play against somebody in that respect. And you are going to face off against each other twice in a row. Sometimes it does happen on ladder, but here it's guaranteed to happen, right? There's no chance going in for that. You are going to be playing against that opponent there. Now, obviously, we've got some stellar matches coming up for you today. There's going to be a total of 9 matches from some of the players that are going to be coming up very soon and shortly, and we'll introduce them to you. Say there are some pretty big matches at the moment. We've got players like Adrey, Rexas, Angel, Samy, Sepp, Guts, and Paic involved today. Who's your favorite going into this week?
Well, I would say that currently Paic and Rexas are probably sitting at the most comfortable spot, high up in the leaderboards. But we also got to look at Adrey, Guts, and Angel. I think those are currently sitting somewhat at the lower side where they might miss those playoffs. So definitely we'll see how they perform this week. Or are Rexas, Paic, and also Samy Sepp going to extend their leads?
Exactly. It is all about getting those points and trying to be as high as possible in the Summoners War European League, which is what our players are trying to do. We saw it from last week where some players were down in the dumps at the bottom of the leaderboard and managed to get 3 wins in a row or 5 set wins out of 6, jumping themselves all the way up to 2nd in the league at the moment in terms of Paic as well. Obviously, he's going to be a very dangerous player as we get into things later today. Say, taking a little bit look forward now at our first matchup, it is going to be Adrey versus Rexas there, say. And Adrey finding himself a little bit tough at the start of the Summoners War European League. Right now, after his previous week, he did get 3 wins and 3 losses in terms of sets. Those were against Glorious, Nicest Micer, and Tito. So how do you think he's going to fare against the opposition today?
I definitely do think that his first match against Rexas is definitely going to be a very difficult one. Rexas is definitely one that can study matches very well, definitely does know his way around like the battlefield, drafting and everything. Also pre-bans, has a lot of experience with that. I would say that that does favor Rexas a little bit, but in the end we could also see Adrey may be switching up his drafts a bit, or just playing something right in the hand that Rexas doesn't like to play against.
Exactly, that's what it's about. You've got to prepare for that opponent. You've had time to study. You've seen them in the previous league weekdays, and that is now for us to see if it's come to benefit Adrey or will Rexas get the upper hand in this matchup. Just want to point out as well, so we see Rexas here as well. We know he's got a very fearsome LD Nat 5, that Khitan Dasheng. Currently at the moment, having played only 8 sets in total, where it's managed to make it through into the actual game, but it's sitting on an 83% win rate. Just showing exactly how strong it can be when picked in the right position, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of those units, if it gets one turn, it's not glanced, it does have all the cooldowns up, and the enemy doesn't have too much of immunity, it will probably take over that whole match, unless there's like a whole bunch of passive on the enemy side. However, it's mostly not drafted in that situation. So if it's drafted well in the rel position, the moment he starts taking turns and the enemy doesn't have immunity, he probably wins that match. So therefore, I'm not surprised about the win rate of that unit.
Yeah, super high. I mean, we'll bring you many more stats as we get through into this match. With me and Say, we love our stats and it really dictates what's happening. So we do have Adrey versus Rexas. Just to give you a bit of brief history on these guys as well, Say, they've played each other twice over the past 2 seasons, with Rexas getting 100% win rate so far. So will it be all or nothing as Rexas throws out his giant net to catch a wavering Adrey? As we go into our Summoners War European League Day 5, Match 1, Set 1 between Adrey and Rexas. Do you think there's going to be some respect bans there, Say, with the Khitan Dasheng?
I do think so. We have seen it, like, especially the last few weeks. Like, at the start, it was more like comfortable picks ban, but now it was more of like, okay, signature unit ban. So it was not necessarily banning too much of units that would be first pick, second pick. So no bans on like Moors or Olivers or Finesses that much. It's a lot of those bans on those LDs, light monkeys. Oh, in this case, we do get one of those bans on the Chandra, which is a first pick normally. So half right, half wrong on this one. But interesting to see a Chandra ban.
Yeah, maybe he's cooking something up, Rexas, knowing that Chandra is going to get banned. At the moment, Chandra's been picked the 3rd most amount of times in the Summoners War European League, but it's only got a 45% win rate. So when it's partnered with the right situation, it might be able to work. And there, Adrey securing that Moor, the most picked unit in all of our Summoners War European League. How do you think Rexas responds to say? Does he also go for some faster units? An Escher? Oh, nice.
yeah, we go for the Escher, we go for the Cigar. Definitely units that we do see contested a lot in those first few slots here in the Summoners War Europe League. Raccoon, we haven't seen too much. I think last week we didn't see a single Raccoon, but we definitely have seen a lot of Smicer. It's a similar style unit. It has that healing on the passive, but also has a lot of those CC kind of style of things with pushbacks, with silences, and also bombs. So definitely a difficult unit to play against. Rexas going for a style of AoE CC / stripping. However, Paic is maybe not the right choice against the Moor if that Moor might be swift.
Yeah, and we've seen just how useful the build is on the Moor. We've seen a lot of violent Moors that have done a lot of work over the past few matches as well. Seeing there, Rexas bringing in some damage, securing a Marsha in there.
Yeah, Marsha is definitely nice. There is a lot of pushbacks on the side of Adrey, so definitely a Marsha does fit in. But yeah, as you were saying, Moor on Fire, we also have seen a bunch of those. So against the Moor on Despair, you definitely do counter it with the Hey Gang. But the Moor on Fire or Moor on Swift, you don't counter as well with the Hey Gang. Adrey's probably looking in. Ooh, I was thinking more along the lines of more passive units. The Fire Monkey that we've seen a lot last week. And also the weeks before. Praha, we haven't seen too much, but definitely an interesting unit here on this battlefield.
Yeah, Praha being made popular by a lot of our French players actually going into the Summoners War European League. Guts preferring for this Adrey right now. Mei Huang, we know how dangerous that unit can be. The skill 2 with the defense break setting up for a lot of damage coming out. How do you think Rexas is going to respond there?
Yeah, Rexas could look at either of two things. It could go for like a unit that would snipe it, or just go for a Bruiser comp. I think Rexas will go for Bruiser. Ooh, actually goes for a second AoE stripper, as is Valantis.
Valantis, there we go. Very strong unit when can be used in the right situation. The bans will be coming in now. Do you think it's going to be a respect ban, or are you going to change for something else here?
I do think that Valantis is not going to be looking at this battlefield, actually. But on the other side, there's a lot of dangerous units. If you leave that Monkey in, that's going to be a lot of damage. But also the Raccoon could be pretty annoying in this matchup.
Yeah, let's find out then. They're taking the full amount of time right now to make sure they're looking in those correct bands. It is going to be the Monkey, so damage taken off the side of Adrey with the Cigar on the side of Rexas. Speed lead for Adrey. Some water attack lead there on the side of Rexas for his Hey Gang as we go into our Summoners War European League Day 5, Match 1, Set 1, Adrey versus Rexas. Escher is going to boost up the rest of the team, here.
Yeah, let's see what we can get with those strips. Do we get all of the strips? And we do get a good amount of stuns, but as we were talking about, Bio Moors. We do not have Nemesis on the Marsha, but this Marsha can deal a lot of damage, takes the additional turn. Can you take out the unit? Oh, this could be enough. If you have additional damage on that Hey Gang, just a skill 1 probably does more damage. It's not enough by the sliver of health. Also, additional damage on those units just to finish off the unit. But having that unit survive, also taking an additional turn, now completely flips the match. If that unit was off the battlefield, there would have been no damage for Adrey pretty much. But now, Adrey is definitely still in this match at this moment.
He is. Oh, he misses the bomb though on Volantis, which does mean that it's going to survive a little bit longer. Raccoony boosting it back up to try and provide more silences, I think, across the other side of the field there, say.
Yeah, definitely where Adrey looked very scary, near to death on that Smicer for just a moment. Is fully back on HP right now. Marsha will soon have that skill 2 up again. Let's see what she decides. Ooh, still 1 turn away. You have to get one more additional turn. Do we get it? Ooh, that is a typical Marsha thing. Gets for the additional turn. In this case, goes once again on that Smicer. Really wants to take out that unit. Rexas does know that is the main core damage dealer. In this case, there's no healing from the power hut coming anytime soon. But additional turns are traded back and forth. This unit also takes an additional turn and is going to be healed by the Raccoon. Once again, misses the bomb though.
Resisted again though, so Smicer trying to get more action going in here. But like you were saying, Say, I think it is the turning point of this match. Can Rax get rid of that Smicer soon enough?
Yeah, the moment he gets rid of that Smicer, he's definitely looking at a favorable match, but the thing is that Marsha is not on Nemesis, the Marsha was on Will. And throughout the match, you get to notice that a little bit more and more, because Marsha that is on Nemesis would take a lot more turns, a lot faster, and maybe would have had that edge to actually kill that Smicer over here. Skill 3, maybe on crit rate, is on crit rate again by the sliver of health. We do have Volantis moving next. Volantis, can you actually do it?
Let's see, Volantis does have a turn now. He is going to take the kill for sure on that Smicer. But right now, there's going to be no real damage on the side of Adrey, from what I can see, Say. It's going to be whether he can get rid of anything on the side of Rexas right now.
I would say that the damage is definitely on the side of that Asher. We saw that Asher crit fully on that skill 3. That does mean a crit rate slot for Asher. And that will be the main damage. However, on the side of Adrey, we have damage from additional damage from both that Moor and that Praha. So there's definitely some damage on that side for now.
Yeah, let's see. He's got glancing right now more, so using that skill 2. But obviously with Haegang on the field, it's going to boost it up. This is useful now. Get some healing in, Say. Try and last it out a little bit longer, right?
Yeah, definitely last it out a little bit longer, and those units are looking pretty healthy, but where all eyes are on that Asher. Could you boost up that more, doing extra damage? Can you kill it? Doesn't kill it by several health. We have another Massacre coming up, but where do you send it? Do you send it to the Raccoon or the Praha? Ooh,
yeah, he's
goes
gone
into
for
the Moor.
Gone for the mob with an attack break there as well, Say, and it is going to be falling down. Might be whether or not Volantis can try and do something here, but Raccoony is just going to keep allowing those turn cycles. Oh.
Yeah, the Raccoon is just really good at keeping everything just above being dead. And Raccoony did that very well in this matchup, and that gave the first victory to Adrey.
Wow, Adrey coming out hot then, 1-0 so far against Rexas right there. Say, you can just see how important it was to really try and secure kills on the side of the field, right? That Smicer was allowed, well, survived by a slither of health, and that obviously then meant it could do so much more with the silencing, the bombs. Do you think Rexas needs a different type of snipe unit to come through there?
I definitely do think that Marsha's a good sniping unit for it. However, yeah, it just didn't work out. It's just that little bit like those few extra R5s that you did for those extra grinds that rolled from a 7 to a 10 or an 8 or a 9 in HP to survive those kind of hits. Or on the other side, those in damage stats for attack, crit rate, or crit damage.
Exactly. We see the pre-bans coming in. It is going to be the Moor and the Cigar. So Adrey deciding I don't have the first turn here or first pick, so I'm going to block out that Moor. Rexas stealing or using that Escher again that we know did so much damage on that crit rate slot 4, as you were saying.
Yeah, definitely has a lot of damage on that Escher, but you kind of want to pair it with like an armor break setup. Then that Escher can go into the real damage. Adrey stealing that Hey Gang, going for an Oliver. Let's see what Rexas decides to go for, because the AoE strippers that he normally likes to use are not really that growthy to the Hey Gang. Like the Volantis is kind of cancelled out, so I would probably see Rexas go more for bruiser style here, maybe picking up like an early Mayo Wang or any of those kind of bruisers to fight Adrey over here.
Let's see what he's going to decide. He is going to be taking a lot of time here to make sure he secures that. It is important pick slot 2 and 3 when you're picking. Deciding to steal there, the Smicer, and Marsha coming back out on the field for that damage there, Say. I kind of like those picks, but like we were saying before, when you're stealing units, are they always ruined to perfection on your own kind of account? Let's see what Adrey responds with.
Yeah, let's see what Adrey responds with. I have seen a Smicer for Rexas before, so it is a unit he's somewhat comfortable with as well. So definitely a unit he picks up. We see a Jungnam and we see a Verdehel. Those are definitely very interesting units. Jungnam maybe not the strongest end to Smicer, has difficulty on landing that skill 3. But Verd saying, okay, you go for a lot of speed units, I go for some cycling as well. But normally, Verd is picked as a triple revenge Verd into AoE CC, or just AoE units. Could this be a Swift or maybe a Vio Verd?
Yeah, it's interesting as well to think now that we know the Marsha isn't on Nemesis like you were saying earlier. So once that Marsha is stripped, it could be frozen by a Jongnam right there, which is maybe why Rexas is looking for some more immunity. And that Khitan Dasheng, we know it's on a high win rate, maybe in an odd position right now.
Yeah, definitely strange to see a Light Monkey being drafted without any actual strippers. Like, there's some single target strips from like a bunch of units, but there's no AoE strips which you normally see in paired with, even 2 of those. However, on the other side, we don't see any immunity play units. So I think Rexas is gonna sit on a turn 2. Let's see what happens. And we see Adrey locking in that Segmet just to prevent any of those units, probably the Light Monkey or the Valachil, to get the skills off.
Exactly, Segmet skill 3, we know how strong that unit's been as well in the Summoners War European League. Say it is sitting on a 63% win rate, having played 23 sets. Heigang and Escher are going to be banned out here, so we're going to be having the speed lead from Oliver most likely coming through. And on the side of Rexas, not sure.
Yeah, probably goes for the resistance lead. The resistance lead, if something is not fully on accuracy, it is an option. Expects everyone to go on high on accuracy, so goes for the HP lead.
Here we go then, we're going into it now. Summoners War European League Day 5, Match 1, Set 2. Adrey versus Rexas. Can Rexas regain a point that he just lost? Wow, that is a fast monkey over there, say.
Yeah, that's definitely a very fast monkey, but like we said, normally is paired with AoE strippers. None of the units moved in front, so it doesn't really do all too much in this position. Pretty much all of the units of Rexas are kind of just sitting and waiting for one turn rotation. Interestingly enough, we have a Verdehel that is also on wheel. We don't see that too often.
No, we don't, and now he's managed to strip everything on the side there. Oliver has full momentum now to reset, can insert the cool time on that monkey. Verd is going to allow that team to take another round of turns, to say.
That was actually a lot of damage from that Verd as well. I would definitely see that as an interesting build on Verd. Could probably be like a Vio Will kind of style. It's very commonly paired with like some kind of revenge, but this is actually doing a lot of damage, like double 4Ks. Those are good hits from skill 1.
Definitely is Segmet coming now. She has skill 3 available. Going to look to reset that match, or even just go for the kill there with the damage. Not quite enough, but she's going to be leaving the field very soon, say.
Yeah, definitely where this monkey is just in a very awkward position, but also the Valachil is kind of in an awkward position. That Segmet pickup from Adrey in the 5th slot was definitely very nice. Jungnam is very close to getting the skills back, and then we're going for another cycling of just a lot of stunts.
Exactly, and it's silence is coming out from the side of Smiter, but against the Verd, it's not going to really do anything just because of the passive that it has there. Say it's going to boost up the rest of the field, and they're going to get another round of turns coming again.
Yeah, that's definitely one of those units like, okay, you steal a unit of mine, but I know what it loses against. And especially if it's a unit that's slightly new in meta, which is that Spicer, you haven't seen all of the counters yet unless you use it all the time and you actively see it losing to something. Apparently a Verd on a build like this, which I wouldn't be surprised if it Bioprocs anytime soon. Nope, we have that Bioproc on the Spicer trying to survive a little bit more, but can't really make that work. That Verd is putting so much work in where just the Jungnam and an Oliver makes it that everything is just taking turns that are not useful.
Exactly, now Verd is going to confirm that kill, which is so important, like we've seen, confirming those kills, going against the Velajul and more additional turns, getting all the way through to those options of stuns later on, say.
Yeah, we can get a bomb from a Smicer right now, probably looks at then on the Verdehel. Ooh, decides to go for the Segmet, but big question is now, we have some healing on that Velajul, but that is not nearly enough for what I would say that the Verd cannot just handle of more cycling. Jungnam going in with another skill 3, becoming a big giant bat, and once again stunning the enemy team.
It is going to take down the Segmet, that bomb right now, but as we said, there's not really so much going on the side of Rexas right now. Verd and the team of Adrey probably going to deal as much damage into that Smicer to get it off the field, right?
Yeah, definitely interesting to see that this Verd has like a little bit of damage built in, or actually maybe a decent bit of damage. And in a match like this, if he didn't have any damage on that Verd, the match would have been very different and a lot slower, and that actually would have enabled Rexas to come back in this match. But since that Verd is on this very specific build for this very specific match, it actually worked out very well.
Definitely, and Oliver there getting that additional turn. It is going to lock the win for Adrey. 2 6-0 against Rexas there, say. I think you can see that Adrey really did his homework against Rexas right there, doing some really nice picks during the actual drafting phase. I think maybe it could have been over from that beginning there.
Yeah, definitely. I would definitely say that second match was very strong in the drafting for Adrey. He does know like the units that he was picking up, but he does also like avert on will. We don't see that all too often. Like it's always revenge. Like revenge is that core thing that people like to see. But if you're playing against someone that always likes to lock in a light monkey, expects like, oh, avert, I can still stun that. My monkey is fast, I can stun that. But in this case, like, no, let me put will on it and we'll see how that match works out. And that actually worked out very well.
And you were also mentioning as well before when we were going through the draft phase there, that obviously Rexas brought that light monkey into the match, hoping that maybe there wasn't so much immunity on the side of Adrey. In the end, all of his units kind of took that first turn, and it was up against all of the will and immunity on the side of Adrey right there.
Yeah, absolutely. And that really determines like a match, and it also really shows like how you can study someone in like a tournament setup of like, okay, if I draft this, he's probably gonna draft that. If I would take these units, probably he goes for steal because he's known to be like, okay, he steals my units rather than picking his own comfortable spots. And in this case, the Light Monkey is definitely a very strong unit. That lowered a little bit in win rate, as we can see with this loss over here. But it really needs those pairing of AoE strippers in most cases. So for that reason, didn't work out for this one.
Exactly, and we saw there the banner on the Moor as well. That was probably a key unit for that Light Monkey as well. So we're moving into our second matchup of today. It is going to be Angel versus Samy Sep. You can see Angel right now had a very tough first week of the Summoners War European League. His recent matches, though, say he's coming off the back of 4 wins and 2 losses in terms of sets from his previous matches, and they were against Nicer, Smicer, Tito, and Glorious. How do you think his chances are going to be against Samy Sep?
Well, I definitely think between the two players, there's probably the most amount of LDs that they like to put on the fields like that we have in the Summoners War EU League. So I definitely want to see a lot of those LDs. So let's see what those players can do, because Samy Sep, the player that we see over here right now, also likes to use a lot of those LDs. Also a whole bunch that you normally don't see too much, like that Siana, which is definitely a very interesting unit in his hands.
Exactly. He's actually also coming off the back of 4 wins and 2 losses in terms of sets from his previous week, say. But he did face off against, some people would say, probably the toughest 3 opponents in the Summoners War European League, being Obabo, Pinkroyd, and Hansalot. So I think he's going to be hoping for a lot of momentum to kind of carry him through the next matches, because obviously it's going to be important to try and bump yourself up that leaderboard, especially when the top hitters aren't necessarily playing there. We can see League Day 5, Match 2, Angel versus Samy Sep right there. These guys have not faced off against each other in the past 2 seasons, so no data to go off. But who will wander in the shadows of the arena? Or will a light shine from the heavens as we have Angel versus Samy Sep there? So we've got Veronica ban, we've got Ziana. So 2 of the LDs that we were speaking about earlier, we're not going to see in this first set.
Yeah, definitely it's good against Angel to ban that Veronica, because the pairing of Maximilian together with Veronica is only strong if both of them are available. Simplest way to counter that, ban one of those out. Samy Sep, besides that Siana, he does have a lot of other units he like. He does have that Neftis, he does have that Hey Gang, he does still have that Tian Lang. There's still a lot of it that Samy Sep could pick up in this matchup, whereas Angel probably has to play in this matchup a little bit less with his LDs. There's still a few that he could pick up, but let's see if he goes for those.
Yeah, let's see. We just see how strong Neftis and Hey Gang can be. Neftis with a lot of debuffs that she can put out on that field. Shan, a very nice answer there with the LD and the Wind Robo as well, say.
Yeah, definitely good counters, because the Robo strips in a way where it doesn't provide any debuffs right away, and that can actually counter Hey Gang by pushing back further than the Hey Gang is actually boosting up the team. Samy Sep has an answer in an Asher and a Maximilian.
Yeah, Maximilian strong with obviously that leader skill of the 24% for the rest of the team. Escher as well being locked in. We saw how much damage it could do in the hands of Rexas. Deciding against it and going instead for a higher speed lead there for its team. Wow, quick answer, Mei Huang and Rakuni say.
I definitely do like that answer by Angel, because that Rakuni and that Mei Huang is saying like, okay, we go fast, now never mind, I can also go Bruiser, and taking it a step down. And a Rakuni and a Mei Huang is very strong into the 4 units that the first 4 drafted on the side of Samy Sep. That they are, if Samy Sep locks it in, is most likely banned, because Angel, if you're locking your 4 and 5 slot that fast, 9 out of 10 you're saying like, okay, I'm gonna ban that 5th because that's what I would like to play against. On the other side, I'm not too sure what you would ban out. Maybe the Monkey, maybe one of the strippers, maybe the speed lead. A lot of options over there actually.
Yeah, let's try and find out if it is going to be the Battle of the Chimeras. It is going to be the Battle of the Chimeras in this League Day 5, Match 2, Set 1. Speed leads being locked in on both sides with the Oliver and the Morpher, Angel and Sam B-Sep. Summoners War European League Day 5, our Match 2, Set 1 between Sam B-Sep and Angel Say Ishii is going to be taking that first turn, but we've got very fast Robo, but it can't take a turn yet.
Can't take a turn yet, but we have this more taking turn afterward. Can it strip a lot? It can strip a decent amount, but the question is going to be, can this Sean instantly, can he skill on a skill 2? I'm not too sure, probably not. Ooh, and that is the very interesting thing about a monkey. Monkey gets more speed when, well, the monkey died, even though it had speed. I was gonna say, monkey gets speed from passive and therefore you can't squall it. Well, not guaranteed. But that was, wow, that additional turn, so much damage. We have a monkey going in, or the robo going in. Not a lot of stuns, not enough stuns. We have one of the brothers taking out the other brother. And that John is actually doing so much right now.
This could be an opportunity right now. Robo can hopefully turn cycle. He's got stuns on the field of Sam B-Sep there, say. He's going to be hoping for some additional turns coming through on the side there.
Yeah, definitely what's interesting over here right now is that Sam B-Sep actually walked into the same issue that Rexas had in the previous match. He didn't have an AoE strip. He had very strong units that could follow up on an AoE strip, but no AoE strip. And I also missed that during the draft.
Oh, a great additional turn for Shan there. Gonna provide the stuns and allow that speed buff on the side of Angel right now. And wow, Robo's gonna push them back again, say.
Yeah, once again, pushbacks, and this is also what shows Angel does have those units that are very good on the follow-up, but also has the units that are providing the setup. Has that Robo in there, has that more in there, providing those setups, and then providing those Shans with a lot of damage. And we've seen the Shan do very quick work of the enemy side over there with a victory for Angel.
Angel going 1-0 up there against Sam B-Sep. Continue his momentum from the previous weeks in our Summoners War European League. So again, people not bringing in AoE strippers with them. What is this all about?
Yeah, it's definitely, I kind of had the same mindset as well. It's like, oh, you just banned that last unit because you go Bruiser. And then it's like, wait, no, there's actually, take your time. You don't have to lock it in. Look at what the matchup is. Sometimes you want to go too fast. I went too fast in this case. And that's what Angel in this position didn't do and actually went for the way better play that way. Current bans, we have that Maximilian being banned and that Nefty's being banned.
Yeah, we saw Neftis couldn't really get any turns because there was no AoE stripper. What's the first pick going to be this time there, say? It is a Moor, allowing that AoE strip.
Yeah, it is a Moor. Is Angel going to pair that with some other speed leads? Oliver definitely likes the Oliver. Oliver paired with Veronica.
Yeah, very strong. We know just how good that skill 3 can be. Getting the cool times against the opposition. Sam B-Sep with an answer though. He's bringing forward a Juno and the Tian Lang.
Yeah, definitely two very strong counters to what's on the field of Angel. Angel says, I don't care, I'm still gonna play what I played last round. Slightly different right now, but Sam B-Sep does go in. Ooh, interesting, goes for a Leo. I kind of like the Leo setup a little bit more. However, if you play into a Veronica, you probably still have to ban that Veronica in this setup. Whereas Angel still has a 5th pick. If Angel makes a very strong 5th pick, which is a Light Dragon Zerath, we haven't seen that too much. That is definitely very interesting.
Wow, these guys want to get straight into the action there, say. We've got the Juno band out, we've got the Zerath band out. It's not going to be seen in this League Day 5 Match 2, Set 2. Angel vs Sam B-Sep both taking speed leads, even though there is a Leo on the field there, say. League Day 5 Match 2, Set 2 between Angel and Sam B-Sep. Obviously, Leo is going to be taking that first turn, say, but countering a lot of immunity on the side of Angel.
Definitely is, but we see a very fast Moor taking a turn in front of that Veronica that would normally take a turn. Oh, how much can this Tian Lang do? Tian Lang has to strip a stun on the Chan, does not get the strip and a stun on the Chan, and receives a stun himself.
That is going to allow Veronica now getting resisted against Marsha, which is huge with that additional turn, say. Is it enough? Not quite!
It's not quite, because the Marsha paired with a Leo also nerfed your Marsha. Marsha has the most amount of damage from her speed scaling. She's not going to do all too much of that right now. However, 3 against 4 is still in the favor of Sam B-Sep at the moment.
Definitely is going to provide. Can he get a defense break? Nothing there. And there is the immunity now on the side of the Marsh. So that skill 3 is going to be stopped dead at one point. Will it be early? No, it does get that stun. Does it get a second? No, resisted against the Leo, say.
Double resist against the Leo. Leo still not moving for just a little bit longer. But I would see right now, even if you kill the Leo in this position, which is probably one of the easier targets to kill, you have to kill that Marsha. And that Marsha is taking an additional turn, doing a lot of damage, even while still being a slow unit at this moment. It's taking a lot of that damage. Armor breaks coming in from the Tian Lang, and that is a quick victory for Sam B-Sep.
Wow, Samy Sepp managing to bring a point back for himself in the Summoners War European League against Angel. We could see there just how much damage that he could provide in the end there, say.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was interesting to see a Leo together with a Marsha, because it was more of those drafts where I would say, like, okay, if you ban one, at least the other one is there. But in this position, actually, where both of them were on the field, it still definitely did work out very well. But I would say, I'm not sure if that Veronica was a Vio or Despair Veronica, because a Swift Moor was outspeeding, where the enemy had a 33 lead, where he had a 24 lead.
Yep, that's all in the maths there, say. We can see some of those highlights. Shan, crucial there getting the stuns, but in the end it wasn't quite enough for Angel, as that Masher didn't get the cool time inserted, which allowed those defense breaks doing all that damage, just like we were saying again there, say. Well, they've split the points in that first matchup between Angel and Samy Sepp. Looking forward now, say, into our third matchup of this Summoners War European League Day 5. It is going to be Guts versus Paic. Guts coming off the back of a mixed results recently, with 4 losses and only 2 wins in his last league day, say. And Paic's coming in so hot with 5 wins out of 6 last week. And that was against Pinkroyd, Hanslet and Ababa. But Guts here in front of us, say, we know he's got some crazy techs. When it gets going, he's usually prepared for who he's facing off against. What do you think he can bring to the field today?
Yeah, Guts is definitely a very creative player, but it's also to the point he's so creative that it's also kind of a 50-50 if his creative style either works really well or not at all. So let's see, the coin flip on this case goes to the favorable position for him in his creative style that he will be bringing to us today.
Exactly, and we know that when people do their research on the players they're facing off against, it can come to real benefits, as Paic's last week managing to crush the field with 5 wins out of 6 against Pinkroyd, Hanselot and Ababa. They say, we know he's got those back pickets of the Julian. He was using Kovaci, if I remember correctly, as well last week, very strongly. Different LDs, bringing them to the field and seeing how people react to it. Do you expect more of the same from him this week?
Yeah, I definitely do expect more of the same. He definitely likes to lock in that Vanessa, goes from the Vanessa into potential Julian, and that is definitely his comfortable playstyle. So, knowing Guts, I wouldn't be surprised if Guts comes up with like a Rocky play or any of those units that prevent like the death denial effect. And let's see if he works around that way, or that he just simply goes for a ban on it, because that's also a way to counter Julian.
Exactly. These two guys have actually faced off against 32 times in the past 2 seasons, say, with Guts having a 63% win rate against Paic. So maybe he does have his number in this. Who will walk along the fiery path to victory? In this case, fix your Guts beforehand. Let's see. Summoners War European League Day 5, Match 3, Set 1 between Guts the Berserk and Paic. Bans coming in there, so we've got the respect ban on that Julian, and we've got a Windrobo, I think, for the first time pre-banned in this Summoners War European League. Yeah,
I definitely think it's one of the first times. It's more often that a unit like a Moor is banned, or maybe an Asher is banned. Those are the really speed units. Guts is actually taking one of stealing units, I would say, because Chandra is mostly paired with a Cigar. Let's see if Paic still goes for that single target damage style that he likes to play, or that he maybe flips it around and actually goes for different units. It's definitely something that in this position, it's maybe a little bit too early for Juno, but it definitely wouldn't be a bad unit.
There we can see a Vanessa being locked in with a Tian Lang. Wow, very quick response at the moment from Guts as well, with the Smicer, with the Camilla, saying, okay, let's bruise this out, right?
Yeah, absolutely saying we bruise this out, but locking in your units that fast also means like, okay, I expected you to pick this. So that is in a favorable mindset for Guts already. You might be a little bit too fast in locking those down, but I definitely do like the draft on the side of Guts right now. Let's see if Paic can respond on like a bruiser side, or does he want to go more for like trying to AoE CC them, but there's a lot of passives that's already make it more difficult. We have that Kovaci. However, the pairing is not as strong right now as it normally is with... Normally Kovaci's placed next to a unit that scales very high on attack. He doesn't have that in this case, which is very interesting. On the other side, we have a Riley being picked up.
Riley being picked up, does it signal some sort of a Miles ban? Let's see as we're going into this Guts the Berserk versus Paic. Veladjul being picked there again, say we saw it didn't do too much work for Rexas in the previous round as well. And the familiar faces, like we said before. Who are you liking for bans?
I would say Miles. Miles probably takes out a big chunk of damage. Actually goes for the Kovaci, which I thought was kind of strange to place in this match. But let's see how that works out for this match later on.
Speed leads locked in for both of these guys as we're going into our Summoners War European League Day 5. Match 3, Set 1 between Guts the Berserk and Paic. Can he get the stun out? Does get it against that Veladjul, say.
Yeah, definitely a very crucial stun over there, because it also allows this Cigar to go for a skill 3, potentially pushback, did not get the pushback, did not get the provoke, but it is stunned for the moment. However, if Velajuel gets an additional turn, would have been tricky, but there's actually a lot of damage coming in from the Miles right now.
Definitely. Is it going to be enough? He needs to try and target into it, and it is going to get it off the field just before that Riley could take a turn, say.
Yeah, definitely it's very crucial to have that Velajuel off the field. So far, we haven't seen Velajuels do all too much. They're kind of just a sitting duck, they get eaten alive, and it hasn't been doing all too much. On the other hand, we have that Miles coming in with that additional turn, stunning units, time and time again, pushing them back, dealing a lot of damage without having too much setup for it.
Exactly, and he's just going to be dealing way more damage as the time gets going. Riley now can look to cleanse. She does obviously bring back awake that Chandra, say, and it's going to be taking a turn, but all of the skills are not there from the Cigar.
Yeah, all of the skills are not really there from that Chandra, but the issue is that the Chandra kind of has to try to get stuns, but in the process actually gets armor broken, so that is a lot of damage going into the Chandra, once again being provoked. We do need this freeze on the Miles right now. It also provides the slow, so it will make Miles a lot less deadly if you land this slow. But is that 100 res Miles? That is a potential. In this case, does land the slow, does not get the stun.
Doesn't get that freeze or stun there, say, and we're going into with getting the cool time there again, so Chandra's again not going to be able to cycle through any turns, and Cigar's going to put that to bed.
Yeah, Cigar is definitely going to take its time to just once again lock that down, and even the position where Paic doesn't have that much healing going on, the team of Guts is just so locked down or so crippled by just getting those stunts in, getting those pushbacks in, getting everything in where the turns are just not that effective when he takes them. And the team of Paic is looking very lively without any sustain.
Exactly. There is a lot of sustain on the side of Guts, but it's whether or not he can take turns to keep that healing coming in, say, right? The Camilla is going to provide some healing when it takes a turn. Riley, if she gets a turn, does get a turn, but it's looking bad.
Yeah, it's definitely looking very bad. And I did read something from the corner of my eye in the chat, and I do want to listen to it, but we're not going to listen to it right now. Miles on the skill 2 on that skin actually sounds like a dolphin. Like, that's something we players, we don't normally play that much with sound. That is actually amazing if it does. So I Miles, get a skill 2 off, we want to listen to this one.
Well, we've got a new fan of the Miles skill 2. He should be taking a turn very soon.
Yeah, he should be
I'm
taking
hoping
it.
so. We're just waiting now. So
Yeah,
we're
just waiting. I'm not going to talk over when he goes for the skill 2. I want to listen to this. Miles is going to take a turn after this. We're going to listen to it. He better use skill 2.
He does have it as well.
Yes, there's like a dolphin at the end. You guys are right. That's amazing. Again.
Oh.
Well, the Miles did it. The Miles did it. So everyone, you need that skin on the Miles. You go for the dolphin skin. It's amazing.
Well, I think that dolphin might have been laughing there at the choices of Guts the Berserk in terms of putting that damage out with the Miles right there, say. And maybe a few more people are going to be saving up for that transmog to get it on their Miles anytime soon. You could see how powerful that unit actually was as the kind of match developed over time, say. Do you think it's something that he's going to have to combat in this next round, or are you going to play something completely different?
I definitely would say that the bruising style kind of did work, but I would say that the Velajuels are just kind of strangely placed. Like, we have seen it by Rexas, we have seen it placed right here, right now. A Velajuel that's picked that early, I don't think it really revolves too much around, like, being able to set up damage or providing that immunity. I think a Wusa in general case is probably stronger at doing it because it's a lot more tanky. In this case, we have that Cigar being locked out, we have the Tian Lang being locked out, and a Asher lock-in from Guts.
So it is kind of a change up of playstyle, I would say, right there from Guts. Paic's going back to maybe his more familiar picks with that Chandra. Will we see a Julian? We know he can pick it early in some cases as well there, say. Or does he decide to slow things down? No, I'm going to snipe something out with a Marsha.
Going to snipe something out with a Marsha is definitely interesting because Paic definitely always likes to pick up that Vanessa. In this case, Guts has the option to go for that Vanessa, but if Guts locks this in, he probably has to be looking at a full-on bruiser match again, which didn't really work out too well in the previous round.
Yeah, he couldn't manage to get his skills online, but you can see there again, favouring from the French players, the Praha coming in as well. So we know how crucial that skill 3 is for some health. Paic, that's a very nice partnership right there with a Riley and a Julian.
Yeah, definitely a very strong setup with that Riley and the Julian. He does still have the option of going a Kavachi in that last pick, and that is something that Guts has to keep in mind. Goes in for a Federica for a potential snipe. However, there's a lot of units you can't snipe with that. Technically, you can only snipe out that Riley. That's the Rocky that we're talking about. Rocky is definitely an option to kill that Julian, but on the other hand, a Julian can very easily take out the Rocky as well.
Definitely can. It's going to be mind games, I think, as we're going into the ban section here, say, because you don't want to let one of them through if you've got a monster that's there to basically counterpick one other monster on the other side of the field, like you were saying. Paic's right now, which angle do you think he's going to take?
I think I would kind of like a Kavachi angle. Ooh, even a Nana angle. So the Nana's definitely saying like, okay, we're gonna ban out that Rocky, or Paic is playing next level mind games.
Let's see if he is going to know. We've got no further mind games there. So he's taken out the Racket and Guts on the side there, taking out Riley from the side of Paic. Going into it with speed leads on both these guys are Summoners War European League Day 5, Match 3, Set 2 between Guts the Berserk and Paic. Can Guts the Berserk get a point on the board this time round? Say, Esche is going to boost up and allow Vanessa to potentially get a strip and a defense break in there.
Ooh, actually he decides to go for an instantly strip, so probably goes for a Praha skill 3 to instantly go for sleeps. I think that's probably the angle that he's playing at. However, he's still gonna get armor broke by a Masha potentially.
And a Julian's going to take a turn, say. So it's going to guarantee a stun probably coming out with a skill 2. Who's he going to go into? Maybe Vanessa to take a revive off the field?
Yeah, it could be Vanessa, but you could also tumble in all of the damage into a Pra, for example, because in a lot of positions it's easier to kill the unit next to the Vanessa twice rather than the Vanessa, because Vanessa in most cases is that 100% resistance, is difficult to land things on.
Yeah, you can see right now, Guts of Berserk going in for that Nana, getting that life off of the field, and it's not looking so healthy with an Esche coming up very soon after, but that's a nice additional turn.
Very nice additional turn. Managed to stun it. Didn't do too much damage on that very tanky Esche. Gets an additional turn on that Masha as well. Let's see how much stuns do we get from this, or at least the armor breaks.
2 out of 4 there, say. It's maybe not going to be quite enough, but will Chandra be able to stun on skill 3? Is it built on that despair? Does get the slows and some stuns.
It does get the stun, but the stun was mainly aimed for the Pra. Pra misses the skill too, and therefore we still have that defend on the Nana, and that gives Manana a chance to actually get their stacks back.
Oh, but it's not quite enough there against the Vanessa, allowing King to take a turn and get rid of that defense break on himself, but Masha should clean up.
Oh, Masha deciding not to go for the kill. That is, I would say, very risky of a play. Always, especially when you have a Nana on the field. This man is playing with his life, I would say. Like, there's so many chances to take out a unit, and he's deciding like, nope, I'm gonna wait a little bit longer. If they proc, they proc. But that is always very dangerous to do. If the enemy is procking out at that moment that you're thinking like, okay, I shouldn't kill yet. It's a dangerous thing to do, but definitely did work out in the favor of Paic at this moment.
Big stuns, that skill 2. Throw a nice additional turn, but it's not quite enough yet to get any healing coming out there, say. Skill 2, will it take out 2 units?
Would it take out 3 units? Okay, that is the comeback potential. Kinky is nerfed right now. That's the additional turn from the Kinky. Oh! That is so much work from that Kinky right now. And the healing comes in. Guts is going to win this, and that's exactly what we're talking about. Actually, Paic had a chance to take out the Pra. Pra was armor broken and full HP. Could have been taken out by the Julian. Decided not to go for it. So much turnaround from the Kinky, and Kinky is nerfed, but Kinky made it work. That skill 2 hit hard.
Definitely hit hard. Taking out 3 units there, say. Guts of Berserk managing to get a point back on the board for himself against a very strong Paic. Again, I think we need to reiterate just how crucial it is to make sure you're confirming kills, right, say?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially if you have that Nano on the field. If you have that Nano on the field, you get a stack for it. He was like fortunate enough to not get that defense stripped. Otherwise, that Nana would have been off the battlefield way sooner. But in the end, there was even an armor break moment from that Praha where Julian took a turn and had skill 2. You could have taken out full HP Praha at that moment. And I think that would have been a lot more of a safe play than just trying to kill out the other side units.
Exactly, but as we know, when it comes to competitive RT, especially in kind of tournament situations, say, you oversee things, right? You overlook exactly how you're playing. Nerves might play into it. You might think, oh, it's guaranteed. I'm definitely going to win this. And then all of a sudden, Kinky can flip the switch.
Yeah, definitely flipping the switch. And that's also a unit that I would say, because it's recently nerfed, everyone feels like, oh, it's not going to do as much. It should do less. That's the mindset we have. It should do less. And then you're like, wait, it took an additional turn and a skill 2, and that skill 2 just 15k the whole team and killed 3 units in the process, and like nearly drained half of the HP of the other unit as well. Very strong. But we're going into a break. We're back in 5 minutes with some more amazing matches. See you there, guys.
Hello everyone and welcome back. We hope you enjoyed your little 5 minutes off from the Summoners War European League, but we're going to be bringing back all that action and reliving, some of those moments that have already been happening so far, and looking forward to our next matches that are going to be coming up today. It's already been a crazy start, right, for us?
Yeah, absolutely. We definitely saw some matches that we thought were over, especially that final match that we have with Guts, Berserk, and Paic. You feel like, match is going to be over, but no, wait, there's actually the turnaround. And also pretty much the upset of Adrey 2-0ing one of the players that's like all the way ranked on top, whereas Adrey was ranked 11 at the moment. So everything is still possible.
Everything is still to play for in the Summoners War European League. You can see the matches that we've got coming up very soon as well there, say. Next match being Adrey versus Samy. Adrey coming off the back of that 2-0 win against Rexas, like you said. Very strong for him. Samy managing to split the points between himself and Angel right now. Who do you favour going into this matchup?
Well, I would say I favor Samy, but it might be that Adrey is riding his high right now, where he would say like, okay, this is my moment, this is where I steamrolled. What we have seen like last week or the week before with Paic, where he just went like 5-1 pretty much for the points. So definitely something that Adrey might be doing here this week.
Let's see, these guys have actually faced each other 14 times over the past 2 seasons, say, with Samy on a 57% win rate between the two of them. But I wrote this line beforehand, but it kind of needs changing now. This Summoners War European League needs a kick of adrenaline right now. Can Samy provide some strong energy? But we've already seen Adrey brought that adrenaline, saying right now we're getting that Tian Lang band out and the Hey Gang.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see what Adrey likes to pick up in here. Is he going to steal that more? Yep, steals that more. So most of the comfortable units for Samy are gone. However, Samy expected to play without those. So since there's no Hey Gang, the Chongpong early pick is definitely very strong.
Yeah, we're seeing those AoE strippers coming back out to play there. So we've got a Chongpong, we've got more on the side of Adrey. Escher, again, we know it's been very highly contested in the Summoners War European League, being played 22 times so far with that 58% win rate. Adrey, is he going to look to respond with another fast unit? Yes, the Sekhmet right there. It did a lot of work in his first match against... Who was it?
Against Rexas. So we definitely do have opening for Samy to go for a Juno right now, but that's not really the style of Samy. Samy likes to take the first turn, does like to go in heavy. However, there is still good odds for him to be outsped because he does have the AoE strips right now, but he doesn't really have that much speed potential if that Ashe is maybe banned out. Adrey, how are you going to respond to AoE CC in this position without a Hey Gang?
Yeah, you're going to take something in like a Juno, looking to deal with the dots over time that could come through from a Maximilian or a Dark Robo there, say, or are you just going to continue your speed contest in taking another fast unit, or maybe that crazy build of the Vertihill that we saw earlier?
Is it going to be that same crazy build? Because in this position, a triple revenge Vert would be a lot stronger. Also, some math in this position is that Speedly that's very strong, but you probably have to ban out that Chongpong over there. And we have a Widget, which is very interesting against Vert because you have anti-crit. So definitely like that unit picked up from Samy over here.
Let's see who is going to get banned out there then, say. We were saying maybe towards that Vertihill if it's a different build that he's got purposefully for Samy. Sekhmet being banned out there along with the Dark Robo, say. So we are going to see speed leads coming into this. As we're getting into it, our Summoners War European League Day 5, Match 4, Set 1 between Adrey and Samy there, say.
So we're definitely going to see the first few turns on the side of Samy, but the big question that we're going to look at, we do once again have that Vertihill that is on will. But Chongpong, 75% chance to strip, does not really strip that much, but probably does strip the most interesting things he could, except for that Vert.
Let's see as well, say, how much damage this Samath is going to be able to do on the side there. With the anti-crit, it's not going to do so much, and he's not looking healthy right now, Adrey.
Yeah, it's definitely not looking healthy, but on the other side, we do still have this skill going in. It is glance right now, but it has potential to land some. Did land on the Asher, which is very strong. Also, we can confirm the build on this Vert right now. It is Will with double revenge, most likely.
Yeah, Maximilian only has skill 1 available right now, say. He's going to confirm the kill at least this time. We've been preaching about it here so far.
Yeah, definitely when you can take out those skills. But since the Vertihill did resist the first few hits, Vertihill is not glance, and therefore Vertihill can just freely take the hits that he wants. Whereas this Asher also wants to do the same thing, but can't because he's still provoked.
He is provoked, and he's going to get a stun on the side of Chongpong there. It could be crucial not allowing Cigar to take a turn from that Verd that's going to push him up.
Yeah, definitely we're gonna see that Asher damage, and we have seen from most of those players over here, Asher is on a lot of damage, but can the Moor do something about it? Not yet. Asher, can you take out this Cigar? That's still a lot of HP for a tanky unit though.
Definitely is. Let's see if he's got enough. He's weighing up his options right now. He's going in for that cigar again. A slither of health being on the side of Adrey.
Yeah, that's still quite some health left, and I think this Chungpong has to get a lot of despair stuns in if he still wants to win this match. And once again, Vert on a very interesting build is probably going to take this victory.
Definitely. You can just see he's chipping away with that damage that he's got. Another violent additional turn from that Maw. We've seen the violent build, how strong it is, and that is going to secure another point for Adrey in our Summoners War European League, taking 1-0 against Samy Sepp there, say. Really nice, that Vertihill in the end.
Yeah, definitely nice. Like, normally a Vertihill, if it's triple revenge, sure, it would have been revenging more. But now in this case, it had the chance where the strip didn't connect. Because a strip in the end from a Chungpong is 75% chance, it's not 100. So for that reason, there is good odds that it would not land. And then if the Vertihill doesn't have that glancing, it definitely can take over that match as it did in the previous one.
Definitely can. Just want to add here, say, I know it's not the specific build of the unit, but Vertihill at the moment sitting on a 50% win rate prior to this league day. People might be looking at this kind of new build and saying, could be the answer to a certain other monster that could be appearing on the other side of the field, as we've got Chongpong being banned out and the Escher, say.
Yeah, in this case, Samy Sepp probably goes back to the Maw. He's not really a person to steal a cigar, which is then probably also going to be locked in by Adrey because he definitely does like that cigar.
Definitely does, but there's Oliver available as well on the field there, say, taking a different speed lead. Is he going to go for a Sekhmet as well to maybe prevent any of that speed coming out on the side of Samy Sepp? No.
Goes back to a Heigang, but Heigang is a pretty quick lock-in from Samy Sepp, has played this matchup time and time again. Those are definitely his comfortable units. That Neft is that Tian Lang. And then Adrey, do you go back to maybe a Robo style, Robo plus a speed lead? Or would you go another style that you maybe want to turn to it? But it is definitely a tricky situation where you turn to a Neftis plus Tian Lang. It is an option with Veramos. We have seen that to great success in the previous weekdays.
Yeah, and Marsha coming in as well. We've seen how dangerous the defense break can be setting up a kill. But I'm going to answer with her sister, Ziana, on the other side of the field. So we know it can be very dangerous, and that is a Dark Robo to match it up as well.
Yeah, definitely liking that style of Samy Sepp. That's really all of the comfortable picks of Samy Sepp, and that got him this far, this high in the leaderboard, this far in SWEL. So those are definitely his comfortable picks, whereas Adrey is just responding to it. Response might be a nice way, but you're letting someone else sit in the driver's seat.
Taking that Samath then. So he saw he did quite a lot of damage in that last round, say. Is it going to be locked out as well to make sure he can get some speed going in on the side of him? On the side of Samy Sepp, who you liking for a ban?
I'm liking the Siana for a ban because that's the pushback, and pushback is very strong against Veramos, but Veramos might also be the ban. Nope, it's going to be that Heigang, so Veramos can hopefully do Veramos things for Adrey.
There we go. Speed leads being locked in on both sides with Adrey, the 33 of Samath, and the more 24 of Samy Sepp as we're going into our Summoners War European League Day 5, Match 4, Set 2 between Adrey and Samy Sepp. Can he regain a point, say, as Maw goes in, gets some good strips?
We'll get some good strips, but the stun that was mainly looking at was that stun on that Veramos. That's the main thing you want to have, and that did not happen over here, and that Veramos gonna take a lot of turns, but the units are not looking that lively. It is somewhat early to go for a stun right away. You can actually wait until you get rid of the glancing and then go for the stun, but still manage to stun 2 units.
Definitely, but the heal blocks as well are going to be helping that Veramos as it goes through right now, preventing from the Oliver. Is it the turnaround for Veramos, or is it going to be too little too late?
I think it's too little too late. He only has like a few debuffs left, which he can actually cleanse, and after that's not too much. We have cleansing on this Marsha. Can it still crit, land that Iron Break, and then do a great hit on that second skill? And who do you go for? Do you go for the Tian Lang? Does go for the Tian Lang, lands both of those with an additional turn. Not taking out the Tian Lang.
Again, no confirming of the kills, say, but it is going to be swept up now, pretty sure, by the Oliver. Getting that T or not.
Also not doing too much damage. Having that attack break is probably on a very tanky build, so not taking out that unit. However, we still have a Maw. We have seen Maw do a lot of damage with additional damage artifacts. However, the Marsha is still looking very lively, and we have that Oliver taking another turn, denying the turn most likely of that Neftis.
They're going to have to deny him, so he can't get that skill 2 back up available anytime soon. Oliver now has free reign to reset those cool times safe, but is he going to provide enough damage from the Maw?
It's not enough damage from the Maw, but the Maw is also stunned at the moment. If the Maw was not stunned, it takes the additional turn. I could see a world where Maw can take 2 units, and that's also a world that Adrey sees right now. It's really trying to take out that Maw. With that dot, that's actually going to be enough damage for the next hit. You need an additional turn on this Neftis right now. Does get the additional turn, but is it going to be enough? Does the kill the Veramos? Is this going to be enough? It's not enough.
But is this enough?
It is also not enough. No, it's not enough. Nothing is enough. And we have the confirmed kill from Neftis on that Marsha. Wow, that was so close.
Wow, Sam B. Sepp managing to defy Adrey with another 2-0 in the Summoners War European League there. Say, Neftis managing to prevail along with the support there. Take me through that. I've never screamed so much in my life.
Yeah, that was an amazing match on back and forth. Like at some point, it's like, okay, we have that dot landing on that Moor. That's huge. Moor's gonna be taken out without you having to hit that another time. But then the Neftis was still there. Neftis took that additional turn, landed all of those debuffs. You have Glancing plus attack break. That really lowers your damage output by a lot. If you miss crit on an attack break, you're not gonna do any damage. Like even on a unit like Neftis, which could be tanky, could be more of damage. I think this Neftis was more on the tanky side. But that was definitely very close.
Definitely very close, and that's why we're here for this type of action right now in the Summoners War European League. So they can see some of the highlights. Adrey did manage to clear through in that first set, but the turnaround was nearly there on the cards for Adrey as well with the Marsha, but Neftis had a strong answer against him, say.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's once again, like this match was so close. Just one thing flipping slightly different, having a crit on that Marsha just because it actually missed a crit on that Robo. It's just a little bit extra crit rate to confirm that crit on that Robo would have made it that you could have dealt more damage somewhere else a turn earlier. And those kind of small things just made it that's like flipping the pretty much the match to one on one other side.
Yeah, I wouldn't have wanted to been there for the live reactions of the players as they were watching that match. They were probably just as excited as we were. But that's now looking forward. That's in the past there. We've now got to look forward for Angel versus Paic in our next matchup. These guys, some strong players coming in. Paic's actually currently now sitting at the very top of that leaderboard. Who's your favorite for this one?
Well, it's definitely an interesting playstyle of Angel in general because he definitely has that Maximilian and together with like the Veronica. But is that also playable? Because we see in a lot of those matches, it's just pre-banning one and then pre-banning the other one. And that really breaks up that combo. However, let's see if Angel also... He still has that Shan, he still has other units. Once again, we have the Maximilian being removed. And we have the Tian Lang being removed, which is pretty interesting because Paic doesn't like to play the Tian Lang that much. It's most of the time where he revolves around a Julian rather than a Tian Lang.
Yeah, let's see. This is where miracles can happen. Is it time for the Giga Chad or an Angel to take the points as we're going into our Summoners War European League Day 5? Between Angel and Paic, they say we've seen the Tian Lang band out, we've seen the Maximilian, but we do know Angel has been leaning on that Veronica whenever it can be used. These guys have faced each other 14 times over the past 2 seasons, say, with Angel coming out on top with 57% win rate as well.
Definitely nice over there. That's a very early chunk pong. Definitely something that Paic could go for a Heigang. It's normally not that much of a Heigang player, but definitely could go for comfortable picks for a Vanessa plus Cigar, which he likes to use most of the time.
Yeah, he's there partnering with that Vanessa and the Cigar, as we can see. We know that he's got the Julian somewhere as well in his back pocket for this. Angel, does he respond with a more? How is he going to respond, say, Veronica?
Well, the interesting thing is Veronica's definitely very good, but I would say Veronica's probably better with the Sierra rather than like an Oliver or more in this position. So I haven't really seen Angel pick up too much Sierra. Also, it's a bit heavy on the wind side, but a Sierra plus a Veronica pick right here would be very strong, but decides to go for a Jean plus a more.
Yeah, we can see Paic right now looking to lock in that Escher as well, get some speed, take that first turn on the side of Paic. Who's he going to partner it? Are we going to see an early Julian as well there?
Definitely could be a Julian. It's pretty good into those stunts, but something that's also very good at not being stunned is a unit that always gets immunity on her turns, which is that Marsha.
Yeah, and you can see Angel now has the different options. He's got the Shan on the field, so he has got the snipe potential on the side of Angel, partnering that up potentially with some more damage to take that first turn.
Yeah, more damage or goes for a Bruiser route with a Minato. I definitely kind of like that Bruiser route because it's hard to outspeed and you still have that 5th pick from Paic that could be countering the whole field. So if Angel wants to play against a team that he wants to lock in against the first 4 units, he has to bring something good. And a Minato and Wusa might actually be able to do that.
Yeah, you can see on the side there that he's got the immunity and the shield. Smicer as a response potentially. Does that signal the ban on the Wusa?
It could be a Wusa ban, but it could also be that Minato's still difficult because if that Minato's on the field and the Smicer's banned out, dealing with a Minato could be very difficult.
Let's see then, they're taking their time right now. Obviously, it's going to be big points for these guys at the moment as well. Big jump up from Paic to get now to the top of that Summoners War European League. Shan being banned out along with the Smicer there, say, as the speed leads are coming in for both sides of Angel and Paic, as we're going to be kicking things off again with that Summoners War European League Day 5, Match 5, Set 1 between Angel and Paic going in. Escher taking that first turn. Is he going to opt to boost again like last time? Yes. So providing that strip and defense break. Not there, say.
Not the defense break, but we do at least have that strip. In this case, the third skill most likely is gonna go on that boost up, just preventing more immunity coming up. Decides not to go for it? Interesting. Okay, not too sure what he's cooking up over there. Can probably take out that Masha, which he very cleanly did. Maybe he's waiting for the immunity to first come up and then strip it later, but if your unit is denied some turns, as with that stuns on the Moor right now, it could be very difficult. Plus, the Minato is very well protected right now.
Definitely is. Maybe another option there, say, was because of that threat state that can happen when it gets hit from that skill 3 of Cigar. We know now it's going to have to be hit on the Minato from the Escher, and every time you hit that Minato, you're going to have to hit it again with no damage.
Yeah, that's absolutely a very good point. If you were to actually go for the skill 3, probably could not have taken out that Changpeng. But let's see what that Minato can do right now. It did miss the armor break on the Escher earlier, which would have been huge damage if it was just going straight in. Let's try to get rid of that Masha, and we still have that skill 3 coming in. Does he go for the booster right now? Goes for the Moor, does not land it on the Moor.
Doesn't get the Moor, and obviously now it's going to put that threat state on that Minato. Just being on the field is annoying because no damage is going through there.
Yeah, definitely no damage going through, and the Minato is actually simply doing a lot of work right now, trying to chip down all of those units. We do still have healing from that Escher coming in. Another additional turn from that Cigar, but does not stick any of his debuffs.
Doesn't allow any of the additional turns coming through. We've got Escher now. The Wizard is going to be provoked. Can it get a sleep? Gets an additional turn.
Gets the additional turn, but is still one skill away from actually doing anything useful besides her potential sleep. Didn't get the sleep. Did get a crit, which was a lot of damage from that Masha. In this case, Minato, do you try to get a unit out of the field as in that Masha, but that would be revived?
It's a tricky situation, say. If you're going to obviously kill off that Masha, it's going to come back on the beast, so it's going to be able to allow defense breaks. But are you really that bothered if you've got a Wusa and a Minato?
Yeah, I don't think so. Ooh, and this is definitely a very nice potential to get that Will of Immortality up. Once again, getting a lot of those buffs up. Minato is trying to struggle to get damage in, and it's definitely going to be a 1 against 4 at some point with the Minato. And the big question is, can the Minato actually land an armor break and capitalize both on that and then do a lot of damage?
Will it go then now into the Vanessa? Because that is the only form of revive. Goes for it. Can it land that defense break? No, it's resisted, say, so it's going to be tough now for Minato to keep working.
Yeah, it's definitely difficult on these units to kill anything because the Escher is too tanky. The Masha, you don't really want to kill it. The Vanessa is most likely 100 resistance, and the Cigar is the wrong element. So Minato definitely has options to do a solo, but those are all 4 targets that you don't really want to kill or can kill that easily.
So yeah, I'm going to have that one versus so it's a unit that they can do it.
It definitely can do it at times, but it is a lot of times resist already. It's still comfortable on that situation from that shield, but that is a lot of damage that nearly took out the Minato. It is definitely a very squishy Minato, so every time it takes a turn or a hit, when it doesn't have the protection, it is going to be very deadly. Is this going to be enough? Not enough though.
Not quite enough. You can see a bit of life drain, but the additional turn is going to allow... it's going to go down from there, surely. Oh, here we go. Paic's taking that 1-0 against Angel, say. Wow. So you could see there that he just couldn't really keep that Minato healthy or alive, and there wasn't really any life drain from what I saw.
Well, the thing with Minato is maybe it wasn't a vampire. I actually did not specifically check on that. It was just my assumption where it was. But I'm just not sure where things went. Like, I'm not entirely sure, like, if you could have drafted that maybe differently, where it could have been a... I'm hearing some mic checks. Do we have mic issues? Is it me? Is it Sam? Before we get further into the match.
No idea. Hello. Here we go. Just to let you know, say, we have got a Julian band out right there and a Veronica already, say. Let's find out as we're going in. Paic's again, so deciding to steal there the Changpeng first pick as well, say.
Definitely early Changpeng picks between the two players. I would say that normally it's very easily to be picked up with a Hey Gang. And it's kind of strange to see a Changpeng being picked that early. And wow, that's definitely a very different style of drafts that we have, because we have a Shizuka and a Ragdoll.
Oh my god, Shizuka and Ragdoll being picked on the side of Angel. So definitely changing things up as we're going into this draft right now, Stay. Maybe there's a specific tech that's going to be changed right now. We see more and we see the Kavachi.
More and Kavachi also definitely interesting picks right here, at the moment, because a Shizuka is going to be picking up that attack buff that is being placed by that Kavachi. So I'm not too sure what the two gentlemen are placing over here. Probably Angel has to be looking at some kind of strip potential, because otherwise it's just going to be very difficult to get through all of that immunity that Cavachi will place. Ooh, decides not to go for it.
No, but we're going for a bit more brews. We've got there the Mehuang. We can see how much monkey business in the previous League Day weeks. Let's see if it's going to come into action here. And Rakuni managed to keep it very healthy on the side of a previous person in the last few matches, say Sweeky being answered on the side of Pafix.
I'm definitely liking the Sweeky because it doesn't crit, so the Ragdoll's not gonna utilize that well. But I would definitely say place another immunity unit on top of that, maybe a Wusa, because there's not too much strips on the side of Angel. But Pafix decides to go for more damage.
Yeah, going in there with the Miles, we saw how much work it was doing in the previous matches. And again, maybe it's also a potential steal. We know Rakuni and a Miles can be working very well together. Diana and answer, obviously, to those water units, say.
Yeah, I definitely like that Diana quite a lot, but that Diana's probably not going to be entering this battlefield because it will most likely be banned out.
Let's find out who they are going to be banning then going into this, say. Different kind of tech coming out from Angel, and it is going to be an instant ban on that Diana, and we see a Sweeky as well. Here we've got the speed lead coming in from the side of Pafix and the HP lead on the side of Angel. Let's find out in our Summoners War European League Day 5, Match 5, Set 2 between Angel and Pafix. Miles taking that first turn. Will he get a stun like he did in previous matches? No, say.
Does not get the stun, but the big question is this more on enough? Oh, it was critting, so therefore decided not to go for the strip, because if it was critting too much, the Ragdoll would have picked up with the skill or with the passive and then gave Shizuka the turn. But in this case, was flipped around and we have a good armor break on the Chungpong.
Yeah, the defense break is going to be huge with that additional turn, and it's going to be enough to take out that Chungpong, say.
Definitely taking out that Chungpong, but still we have a Miles that can do a lot of damage. There's just a Rakuni and a Shizuka that trying to prevent that Miles from doing as much damage as possible can. Let's see if that actually works out.
Yeah, we see Cavachi can use that second skill, boost up another ally. Is going to go for the Maw, allowing that skill 1. How much damage in Shizuka? 3.8k.
Not too much, but now the big question is, do you go? Ooh, decides to go for the Miles, but in this case, needed an additional turn there to actually take out that Shizuka that now goes for a skill 3. Managed to land once again an armor break and has that attack buff being picked up by that Cavachi. So we have a Ragdoll that's attack buff, and we have seen it do a lot of damage in the last rotation. Let's see how much damage it will do on the Miles in just a sec.
Yeah, let's see, but Maw can look to strip it off, say not quite enough, and he's going to go in with that turn. What? Another additional turn.
30k into a 20k, that is so much damage on that Ragdoll, and that is exactly the reason why you want to have that damage on that Ragdoll, because the moment that that armor break is there, it has an attack buff, it can actually do so much damage. Whereas Torrent doesn't go fully ignore defense if you're below, or if you're above 30%, it does still increase your damage the lower your HP is.
We can see now Maw with only skill 1 available. Get that attack break, but it's cleansed by the Rakuni, and he's going to be setting up for another big damage coming out. Let's see.
8k, no armor break, no attack buff, but still good enough damage that this Cavachi is slowly but surely leaving this battlefield pretty soon.
Yeah, she's going to be able to boost up that Maw one more time if she decides to do so with the skill 2. No, goes for a little bit of a heal instead, but not enough healing for what the damage is coming out on the side of Angel.
Finally getting that one stun, but it was on the Rakuni, and Rakuni was the lowest HP at that moment, so therefore did not do enough. We have a boost up on that Ragdoll, doing a little bit more damage with the Monkey, 10k, a lot of damage coming over there. And now we have a more against the world.
Yeah, more against the world. He is going to be getting some strips and stuns into another turn there. So is it enough to kill? No!
Ooh, by the sliver of health, not killing, but it is not too crazy for a Monkey to 1v1 a more. But in this case, it still has a few very strong units next to it. Doesn't even need to.
There we go. Angel reclaiming a point. 1-1 against Pafix SA. We've seen a lot of draws in this Summoners War European League Day right there. But again, the power of Ragdoll comes through there for Angel, say.
Yeah, absolutely the power of Ragdoll, because Ragdoll was in that field and Pafix did know my more is on crit rate. If I go for that skill 2 right now, I'm definitely going to be critting multiple times on multiple enemies, and therefore going to be boosting up the Shizuka. Shizuka will immediately take over on that skill 3. So it was very smart to go for just a skill 1. It did still crit, but it didn't crit that much. But the Chungpong could take over at that point. However, it was still flipped around later on with that armor break on the Chungpong, with that damage from that Ragdoll, just dealing so much damage.
Yeah, so much damage coming out on the side there. I don't know the exact stats for a Ragdoll. We haven't seen too much of it in the Summoners War European League. Only Angel actually, I think, possesses this unit as well. You can see when it is used to great effect, it can do some really, really big damage there. Say, looking forward now into our next matchup, it is going to be Guts versus Rexas, say. Favorites going into this one?
Ooh, I would give it a good 50-50. Those are definitely two players that are very familiar with the SWC pre-ban, which we're also playing over here. They're familiar with the drafting that way. They're familiar with preparing against one another. They definitely do share a bunch of units that they both like to play. They like to play that Cigar, they like to play the Escher, they like to play the Moor. So definitely going to be contested units on those.
Yeah, let's see what Guts has got cooking for this matchup. Say going into this one as well, they've actually faced off against each other a total of 8 times over the past 2 seasons, Guts and Rax, with Guts having a 75% win rate against Rax going into this as well. So maybe he has his number. As Guts would say, one clap is all it takes. Possibilities. But is it all Rexas needs? Let's find out as we're going into our Summoners War European League Day 5, Match 6, Set 1, Guts the Berserk versus Rexas, say.
Let's see, do we also have the ban on those units? We actually once again have a ban on the Chandra. Rexas does not like to play against Chandra. However, it didn't work out for him in the previous match against Adrey. I'm not sure if Guts is mostly taking up that much of a Chandra, but probably we're gonna see a lock-in of that Escher or Cigar. Ooh, decides to go for a Moor.
Yeah, I mean, he needed some AO strips in those previous matches, say, so it's a good thing I think he's taking that early. We see the response already. Cigar, Escher, pocket picks for Guts.
Yeah, definitely pocket picks for Guts, but also definitely steel picks, because those are the 2 units that Rexas in previous matches always locked in as the first unit. So Rexas takes 1 unit from Guts, Guts takes 2 units from Rexas. How does Rexas answer on that one?
Yeah, let's see how he is going to answer now. We know Rexas usually likes to go for that first turn. When he can get it, he does a lot of damage through it, which is why he's got there and Marsha and the Smicer partnered up with it.
So definitely once again going for those bruiser setups. Guts definitely also does like to go for a bruiser setup. Locks in that Juno. Could maybe go back for that Praha. The difficulty is with a Juno. Juno's locks in the Praha, but the Juno is definitely something that Marsha likes to eat.
Wow, double oracles there, say as well. We know you usually like your oracles, but we've got 2 on the field already from Guts. We know he's been using that Praha very well in previous matches. The skill 3 managing to heal up. Rexas is going to kind of counter it with some more damage. Yes, Mei Hu Wang being selected there.
Mei Hu Wang being selected, and probably the 5th pick is also going to be more damage, or maybe I would say an Oliver is not too bad in this position as well. Ooh. Decides to go for a Dumon. That's definitely a very interesting one over there. So if the Praha or even the Juno decides to try to get heals in, it wouldn't work. Guts, what do you answer against all of those?
Yeah, let's see. Or do you answer by taking it off the field entirely, say, and answering to those other 4 units on the field right now? How do you think he's going to pick it?
I think Guts definitely has to look at some damage, because he has a lot of chip damage. All of these units do some damage, but it's not like a insane amount of damage. A Ikasha or a Rika probably does signal that he's banning out the Moor, and he's gonna take a turn 2 position, because Rexas doesn't really have that well of strips, but there are some single target strips, so I'm not too sure if that Rika would do too great, if it even is gonna get to the battlefield.
Let's see then, the bans will be coming in very soon, and we know if it is going to be bruised out, say there is a little bit of sustain on the side of Rexas with those skill 1s. Not anymore, because it got banned out there from the Smicer. Smicer and Rika being banned out, with Cigar defense lead and the more 24% speed lead being taken into our Summoners War European League Day 5, Match 6, Set 1 between Guts the Berserk and Rexas. Say more taking that first turn.
Moor is definitely a very fast unit over here, taking the first turn, followed up by that Marsha. We're going to be pushing back, and also we have the Dumon landing after. I'm not as interested, like Marsha can do a lot of damage. That's definitely exciting. Ooh, that's actually very exciting if you nearly take out a unit. But does it get stuns? Does not get any stuns back. However, does make it where Escher is moving next.
Yeah, he is going to be. He's more going to be enough to try and get rid of that Juno, maybe. No, deciding to go against that Escher. It is going to boost up the whole team as well, say, to allow Cigar to come through very soon and reset that Dumon.
Yeah, resetting that Dumon is very crucial, especially with all of those sleeps. I think the sleeps weren't even too necessary, because if you want to skill 3 right now, it feels kind of awkward position to skill 3, so therefore decided not to go for it, whereas that might have been your only chance where you could have actually scaled 3.
Yeah, getting that defense break on that Escher as well, and it is attack broken, so that S3 isn't going to do as much damage, but it was still a lot, say.
Yeah, definitely still quite some. Marsha need an additional turn to lock out that Escher at this position.
Oh, big provokes coming out on the side there for Guts the Berserk. Not going to be allowing to take any natural turn.
Yeah, the Dumon can't really do what she's here to do, land that 3rd skill, but in the end it's just played around where she can't take any turn while not being either provoked or stunned.
Okay, let's see. Can you confirm the kill? No. Again, we're not confirming kills in the Summoners War European League, sir.
Yeah, we're not confirming kills, and I definitely think that this one, he was trying to look at not confirming a kill once again.
There's no confirmation of kills. Come on, Praha. Even with the S2, are you going to kill? Yes.
Yeah. Praha does take it out, but that armor break on the Monkey is definitely an interesting take, but it's only one turn. It's not gonna stick as long. And we have seen Monkey doing Monkey business, and I definitely think that this is a matchup where we could see a lot of Monkey business.
Yeah, Monkey against probably these two Oko goes as it gets later on right now. Provoke does get it against that Monkey, but a big stun coming back.
Yeah, that stun coming back. We do have the Praha with the heal coming big pretty soon, but sooner than expected. Now in this case, if that Monkey goes for an armor break into... what is the best play here? You kind of need an additional turn. That is huge damage. Can you actually... No! Missed the armor break. Did get double crit, but missed the armor break and therefore could not take out the Praha.
It's not taking out the Praha, but the defense break is available again. Probably can't go on the sleep unit though, say. Who are you going to be looking to go? Oh, goes for it anyway.
He is like sleeping, not sleeping. I'm waking you up. I'm smacking you with another critter.
Yeah, we've got skill 3 on Cigar now as well. Going to be putting into that more. Pushing back with full provokes as well.
Full provokes, we do not care about elements over here. We have fire hitting and critting, water all the time. We have wind landing everything except for that one. Oh, can we kill? Do we get another crit? Is that the moment?
You're looking for some healing as well there. Does get a heal and an additional turn there.
It's an additional turn, but this Juno by the sliver of help once again, and this monkey's gonna be too fast. Monkey business. This is
Monkey
absolutely monkey business.
And getting some more health right now, so it's not going to be enough again from that Juno. Juno versus more at the end here, say?
The Juno versus more. I would say that in most cases, I put my money on the Juno, but it could go either way.
Let's see how much damage is coming out. It's doing a lot of work right now. He's going to get the passive back again, say.
Oh, that final stun! That was what I was looking for. One stun is all you need. And that was the stun for Guts.
There we go. Guts of Berserk coming up with a 1-0 start against Rexas there, say. Rexas still not managing to get a win in this Summoners War European League day at the moment, but Guts coming up clutch with your favorite Oracle girls. Did you like that S1 damage?
That S1 damage, we're seeing some 2.5Ks near the end. I definitely do like those numbers. Those are good numbers.
They are good numbers. Let's see right now then, as we're going into this round of pre-bans right now, there will be a Kitan Desheng potentially back on the field for Rexas. We're getting banned out, the Moore and the Escher, say.
Yeah, Moore and the Escher being banned out, definitely two very comfortable picks. Guts probably looking at locking in that Cigar, as we've seen many times with this SWEL. That Cigar is definitely a very high contested unit. Ooh, hey gang.
Yeah, changing things up, going for a hair gang. Does Rexas now look to steal instead? For that, we've seen just there how against Ozoko goes, his Monkey was doing a lot of work, but it wasn't quite enough in the end, say, but it's maybe too early for a pick like that.
I would say something along the lines of Vanessa plus a Cigar or even a Chandra Cigar is definitely nice, but Rexas doesn't really normally pick it up too often, but probably has it locked in. Does go for that Cigar, but locked in with a Bella. Bella later on with a Vanessa is definitely strong, but Guts is mainly picking that Heigang very early to say like, okay, you can't really draft that Monkey because the Light Monkey is very strong, but not that strong against a Chandra.
Let's see, say, because this Bella could be the first Bella we see in the Summoners War European League if it manages to get through to the actual matches and see if it can turn the favors for Rexas today. We see the Chandra, we see a Veligil. Veligil not being very strong so far in this Summoners War European League, say.
Yeah, definitely not being too strong. Also, on the side of Guts, there's pretty much not too much damage on those three units. If Rexas continues with a Bruiser matchup, which is going to be hard for Guts to answer in the 4th and the 5th slot, I definitely see a favorable draft for Rexas, but what do you pick as a 4 and a 5 right here, which is very good for bruising? Juno, absolutely liking. Abellio, very good bruiser unit right there. Loving that draft.
Nice. We've seen their Guts stealing some Monkey business, though. Obviously trying to get some damage through. Probably needs another unit, like you were saying as well. Say another Snipe, maybe a Federica.
Federica is definitely nice, but Federica is somewhat dangerous into that Cigar as well, so I'm not too sure about it. Definitely liking that Monkey, but you need a bruiser unit. You could maybe look into like a Camilla, but goes for a little bit more healing back into that Praha.
Yeah, we've seen just how much work that Praha has been managing to do. Definitely tanky enough to just survive in each of those matches. How does Rexas answer in that last pick, say?
There's definitely a few options. If you opt to remove the Monkey, which I think is probably the safest play, a Diana would be a great pick.
Diana, or maybe we're going to go for the Valkyrie Camilla that you mentioned, maybe for Guts that could have been used. He's locked in that Camilla. Let's see who the bans are going to be, say.
I definitely say ban Monkey business. It's dangerous.
Yeah, that Monkey business is way too dangerous for this matchup, as Mehuang and Cigar have been banned out, and we're going into this match with speed lead and crit rate lead. In our Summoners War European League Day 5, match 6, set 2 between Guts the Berserk and Rexas. Can Rexas regain a point in this Summoners War European League Day, say?
Oh, does get stripped throughout and a stun on that Abelio.
Yeah, and now Cigar is going to be able to maybe get some more stuns. No, no. Oh, I think he got one, yes.
Stun on the Camilla.
Yeah.
Ooh, and a great additional turn, taking a lot of damage on that Bella, but not enough for the Abelio to take in a turn yet.
And deciding not to allow that ability to take any more turns and put some more immunity. If there's a strip, Hagan is on the field, so it's going to boost up, deciding against it, say.
Yeah, deciding against it. In this case, we have glancing, but we have no attack break, so it still could be a lot of damage. Bella's still doing a decent amount of damage, but you have to focus in the damage on that Bella anytime soon, whereas it is probably going to trigger Abelio at some point.
Yeah, Bella is going to be taking a turn now, and it is going to be able to heal up that Bella, say, and give it some more attack bar.
Yeah, give it some more attack bar, but we have that Veliju once again moving in, and we have another stun being landed on that Bella, and Bella with a defense break, and a stun, and a Veliju moving next that can provide actually some decent damage, especially with that skill too. Ooh, not enough, very tanky Bella.
No, and again, you can't really opt for the strip there. He is going to confirm that kill on the Bella, so the damage output has been minimized on the side of Rexas, say.
Yeah, definitely minimized, and whereas a Diana in this position would have still been a very dangerous threat, and also would have enabled it where the Bella couldn't have been focused as much, a Camilla right now I can't see doing that much. Sure, it has the freeze potential, but you also still have to land it, and it doesn't have as much damage as some other units might have.
No, Hagan can come in now. Skill 2 is available, but if you're going to put glancing, you're going to heal through Juno's passive as well. Deciding to just push that Juno back. Don't take turn anytime soon, say.
Landing some more slows. The Chandra definitely doing a lot of work with the slows. Like it looks like not much, but actually it is a lot. All of those slows all the times just makes it that you can cycle so much more. Getting speed buff on your side and having slow on the enemy makes it that you're just lapping a whole bunch of time, and definitely Guts sitting in the driver's seat on this match right now.
Yeah, I really like this combination with the Hagang and the Velajul there, say. We can see the immunity coming up and managing to go full cleanse, allowing more turn cycling, right?
Yeah, definitely a lot of turn cycling coming in, but also the Juno, it's just like, okay, you want to strip it? Fine, I get more attack bar. It is fine, I can actually handle that.
Yeah, and now Hagang gonna be able to kill as well, that Abelio there, say. Defend coming out on the side of Cigar, likely to go onto the unit of Praha. Yeah, it's looking tough.
It's actually very interesting to see where Guts doesn't have that much damage on his side. Like, sure, the Velajul has a armor break on skill 2, and then you can follow up on that. However, there's just so much slows and speed buffs going on the side of Guts providing both of those. That just makes it that he's lapping so much times that he can actually deal a lot of those damage to Rex's team, which he can't handle.
Yeah, and that skill 1 damage again, say, just showing how important it is when it's built on those Okko girls. Guys, make sure you're in Kairos getting those artifacts, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Always farm those artifacts. We do have Camilla saying a little bit about this, how much damage can do. Not too much damage on that Velajul. However, that Juno, that additional damage, did actually do quite some.
Yeah, you can see now Rex is trying to channel in that damage into the Velajul, but it's not going to be coming in anytime soon because of that defend. And it has that third skill, going to put immunity for 3 more times.
Yeah, there's 3 more turns of that immunity, and Juno's going to be taken off the battlefield by her sister Pra, and that is going to be the double victory for Guts, winning with a 2-0.
Wow, Guts continuing it then. 75% win rate in terms of over the ladder over the past 2 seasons, say, and managing to get a 2-0 against Rexas right there. I really liked his tech in that second game as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It definitely did work out where you just have like the Pra in combination with the Chandra. It's a little bit heavy on the water and therefore could have been countered by a wind unit. In this case, didn't happen. And therefore you just have that speed buff and that slow. And it just makes it that you're taking so many turns. And even with units that don't deal that much damage, can still dish out a lot of damage.
Yeah, they can, and you can see, Guts might as well be the new Seishizu in terms of using oracles during this Summoners War European League. You're not there in terms of being a player, but you're here casting, and at least you can speak more about that S1 damage, right?
Give this man a Gianna and a Praha, or a Gianna and a Lima while you're at it, then you can fully go for it. So that's the only 2 things he's missing. You can probably pick those up later on the line, but yeah, something like that.
Exactly, maybe he'll get lucky enough, and he can, revisit all of the memories of watching you play so he can learn a bit more from it. But he's been doing excellent today so far, say, and I think with that we're going to go into our 5-minute break, so we'll see you guys very soon. Hello everyone, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed your 5-minute break from the Summoners War European League, but we're right back here with all of the action, providing to you the best of what Europe has to offer in terms of RTA in this tournament setting. So we've seen a lot of things change over these past few matches, some upsets, some real comebacks you can see there. Say, which match has stood out for you so far?
Well, I would definitely say the match where we had that kinky, just the backfire of that kinky was insane, but also the match of Samy, Sepp, and Adrey, where it was just so close with that Marsha and that Nafty's interaction, and those are the cool matches to watch.
Yeah, definitely. You can see there's been a lot of changes as well on the current leaderboard right now. For all of you joining us, make sure in the chat you're using command SWEL in order to find out all the latest and greatest about the Summoners War European League. That's including live updates on the scores, on the leaderboard, so you can keep up to date with everything that we're showing you right here. Keep up to date with it. So looking forward to this now. So we've got our next matchup. It is going to be Adrey versus Paic. Who do you favor going into this one?
I would say that Adrey is actually playing very well today, so it might be that it is his moment where Paic had that last week, where Paic just went super hard, winning 5 matches or getting 5 points. It might be that this week Adrey is doing the same thing, so Adrey could be on his winning momentum.
Let's see. Say, when you try your best but you don't succeed, will Adrey get what he wants but not what he needs? Let's see where the lights will guide him in this matchup of our Summoners War European League Day 5, Match 7, Set 1 between Adrey and Paic. We have the respect band from that Julian and the more coming out as well, say.
Yeah, let's see what we have. Definitely respect bands over there. Chandra being locked in very fast. Paic also once again locking in very fast. That Vanessa, that Cigar. Going back to Adrey. Oh, some Riley. Riley is actually more of a steal. Not too many people steal the Riley from Paic, but it might be an interesting take with the units that Adrey has on the field right now.
Exactly, getting some sustain on that side and partnering up there with some snipe damage potential with that Marsha. Say, we've seen just how much work it has been doing when it is still mounted on that beast, right? Kavachi answered on the side of Paic for his own immunity.
Yeah, probably cannot pair it up with a Julian because that is banned, but has the Miles, which we've also seen do a lot of damage. It's definitely a strong counter into that Marsha. But we've seen a Diana, which I do like in this position. However, it probably does signal that Paic can lock in a very simple Antares in the last slot. That would probably have to be banned out.
Oh, Rakuni as well being partnered up, maybe to allow obviously a Diana to take more turns if it can still stay on the field there. Say, like you said, if an Antares is answered, likely they will. Oh, Oberon instead, his own snipe potential.
Okay, interesting with that Oberon. There's not too much strip on the side of Adrey, but this is definitely going to be an interesting bruiser match with the Rakuni being off the field as well.
Here we go, we're going in with speed leads against these two fearsome opponents in our Summoners War European League Day 5, Match 7, Set 1 between Adrey and Paic. Miles, are you going to stun, baby? No.
Wait, where's the Dolphins? I was listening for the Dolphins. I was missing the Dolphins. Doesn't matter. We have armor break on the Diana. If we can take out this Diana pretty fast without it doing all too much, it definitely is very favorable for Paic, but we do have that defense coming in pretty soon. Does go for the defense. Skill 3, it's not going to do too much. Probably decides to go for skill 1. Trying to strip and stun.
Does not get there. Not quite on there, and Marsha is going to be having no fun with any defense breaks. An additional turn is not doing anything for the moment. Say, can he strip that defend? Yes.
Can strip that defense, but in the process did get stunned himself as well. There is some damage gonna come in from that Cigar, but it's not gonna be that much. Kavachi's also not known to be a damage dealer, so that Diana will live a little longer.
Yep, and it's gonna get a nice additional turn from Riley to get a bit more health over there. Turn, not getting an additional turn on that Diana. Defense break is still there, say.
Yeah, if you can choose what additional turns you can take, you definitely want that additional turn on that Diana at the moment rather than the Riley, but it's looking a little bit more healthy. Cigar doesn't have the skill 3 up, but does go in with another cycle of provokes.
Yeah, he's going to provoke there, say, but realistically, Riley's coming very soon. She's going to be able to cleanse.
Yeah, it's going to go in with the cleanse, but in this case, what do you cleanse? Does cleanse the... Ooh, there's still the armor break.
Yeah, the armor break being there is going to be dangerous because very
that's
nice.
A lot of damage, but did not get the proper hits for that later on as well. Does get an additional turn himself as well. Can nearly take out that unit. So in this case, yeah, you kind of have to go for another hit on it, but you do know that Cigar has skill 3 up, so that can tumble. Oh, okay, tries to stun it. Didn't work out.
Skill 3 available, say, going into that. Going into the Marsha. Landing the provokes on everyone on the field. Can Vanessa kill? Goes for the second skill to confirm there.
Confirming the kill, and we're confirming an additional turn on that Miles. A little bit more Dolphins going in there, and those Dolphins are doing a lot of damage to the Marsha right here.
Yeah, the power of the Dolphins. So we've got provokes on the side, which is going to stop him taking turns on his own accord. But Riley does get that additional turn, can get an attack buff. But Marsha, without that beast to protect her, could die very soon.
Yeah, even if you go for the attack buff right now, which is probably, that is the right play, the Miles is taking that turn first, and that Miles is doing a lot of damage, and that takes out that Marsha as well.
Yeah, so much right now, and there we can see the attack buff coming on the side of Paic with that 3-turn immunity. So the Chandra can't put any slows out.
And once again, trying to get those stuns in with the Chandra, but Chandra's not the greatest of the stunner on that skill 1. First, you have to strip the right deep or the right buff, and then you also have to go for the stun. So definitely a difficult job for the Chandra. Whereas Miles, his job is very easy. Just do damage, just smash.
Just keep taking those turns, and we saw as well Vanessa already has her 3rd skill available as well. So even if you chip down against that Miles, it's going to come back very quickly.
Yeah, definitely gonna come back very quickly. And normally where a Chandra does actually kind of counter a Miles with that slow, we have that Kavachi just going in and just providing that much of immunity all the time, where the Chandra can't really do all too much.
No, deciding to do the improviser on themselves in order to maybe get that skill 1 again, or skill 3, put up some more immunity and stop Chandra taking a turn anytime soon. That is the play.
Yeah, it's definitely the play to keep that immunity up, because you have that 1 downturn of immunity on most of those 3-turn immunity units. Velajo has it, Wusa has it, but also Kavachi has it. Unless you go for that self buff on that skill 2, then it's actually 1 turn lower. We see more and more damage coming in from that Miles, but a little bit more healing from that Riley.
Yeah, but Miles is going to be taking a turn very soon. An additional turn will be nice for the Riley, not enough right there, and skill 3 can go straight in and deal more damage into the Chandra.
Yeah, definitely more and more damage coming into the Chandra, and the Miles is just still on the field and can't really see it being taken out. Riley against the world is definitely not something Riley likes as being a support.
No, and especially with Miles just getting more and more damage output going all the way through there, say. It's going to be a very lonely little fight for Riley.
Well, she has her totems, and those keep stacking up, and I think the totems are her friends, so she's never lonely when she has totems, but...
Yeah,
she needs
no dolphins
friends
to help her.
Yeah, like, you need dolphins. Dolphins are on the side. Like, the dolphin is actually dealing the damage, and you need someone to deal the damage.
The damage has come through. Paic taking that 1-0 against Adrey there, say. You can just see how powerful Miles can be, right?
Yeah, Miles is definitely very strong. We did actually see it on, like, the general RTA leaderboard. I think in G3, like a 45% win rate or something around that, a little bit higher than that, which is definitely kind of low, but in the right place, Miles is definitely still very strong.
Yep, I didn't mention it before, guys, but over the past 2 seasons, these guys have played each other a total of 22 times. Paic's with a 55% win rate, so showing that 1-0 lead already against Adrey and extending his lead on the top of our Summoners War European League leaderboard, say, being banned out there, the Tian Lang and the Hey Gang.
So this will definitely be looking at, well, we have seen it time and time again. Cigar? Switching it up for a more. Then we see a Cigar on the other side.
If there's not a Cigar first, say it's going to be a more. We've just seen how powerful that unit is. It is actually the most picked unit in the whole of our Summoners War European League, showing how crucial it is. Adrey setting that up then with a Vanessa and the Escher. Again, saying we could be going first turn.
Yeah, definitely saying first turn. And Paic is also not drafting a Cigar. Is this going to be a Cigar-free match?
Oh, Riley's exchanging then. So going on the side of Paic, meaning your Julian might be coming in that 4th or 5th pick slot, say.
Yeah, definitely something that could be interesting. We're definitely seeing a different style of bruiser where we normally see like Chandra Cigar at least on one of the two sides or something in the combination of that, but in this case, not at all. And also Paic, if you were to lock in a Julian right now, it is not as great into the units on the opposing side because it can't crit on the Kinky and it can't do as well against the Camilla. So definitely liking the draft of Adrey right here.
Yeah, Adrey, as we saw Kinky earlier in the day come into great benefit. I think it was even against Paic. Could have been someone else. Call me out if I'm wrong. But Smicer being picked there on the side of Paic, they say silences are going to be very beneficial so you can't get bigger skill activations going on, right?
And once again, we have that Miles being picked up, but also a Miles being countered by a Leo. So this is definitely the mind game. If Leo's on the field, Miles should be on the field. And for the other player, vice versa.
There we go. We get Leo banned out then on the side of Adrey. Smicer on the side of Paic says we're going to be taking speed leads into our Summoners War European League Day 5, Match 7, Set 2 between Adrey and Paic. Can Paic extend that lead on top of the leaderboard? Say, Escher boosting up that team, allowing Vanessa to potentially get a strip in a defense break? No.
Oh, it did actually activate, but the activation decided to get resisted. Otherwise, there would have been huge damage on that Miles right here. And in this case, probably will get cleansed off a little bit. Big question right now, can we armor break? Does not land the armor break. High res on that Vanessa.
Going into the Vanessa, obviously that skill 3 that Vanessa has can be a revive for the rest of the team. So deciding to target the damage into Vanessa. Skill 3. Good amount of damage.
Definitely a good amount of damage. Also, the attack break in this case does not matter because Asher skill 3 only scales from HP. So it's pure damage with just HP. Armor break works very well. Attack break doesn't matter at all. You have the Kinky once again going in with a lot of damage. Are you going to kill it with the skill 2? Decides to go for skill 1. Skill 1 has a lot less damage than the skill 2, which is definitely a risk play right now because you have a little bit of healing coming in from the Riley. Would it have taken an initial turn? Miles is going to take an extra turn because the Kinky did not take that second hit on the S2.
No, say again, confirming the kills in our Summoners War European League is not today's action. Miles not getting a kill. Can Camilla, is skill 1 going to be enough? Yes, it is. That's
actually high on attack on the Camilla because normally skill 2 is scaling from enemy max HP and crit rate, crit damage mostly. Skill 1 is just a pure attack skill, so you do need to have a proper amount of attack on the Camilla to actually do enough damage. But once again, we have Kinky going for skill 1, armor break into skill 2, which is still so deadly. Sure, we talked about it in the break as well. Kinky is nerfed. We always feel like, oh, Kinky is on the field, it's nerfed, it should be doing less. No, it's just a passive. If you are hitting it, it's doing less. But if he's hitting you, he's still doing exactly the same thing, which he's very good for, which we see in this match here right now.
Yeah, very similar kind of to a Marsha, setting up with the defense break first and then much damage. Dismounting there, and it's going to be again a Riley against everyone, say.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be a Riley against everyone. Even if the Vanessa is taken off the battlefield, we have that Camilla, we have that Kinky, and I definitely don't see a Marsha winning that.
No, Camilla now, is she going to be able to confirm the kill against that Marsha? Yes, so it is Riley against 3. We can probably secure very easily, say that it is going to be an Adrey regaining a point against Paic, our current winner, or leader of the whole Summoners War European League.
Yeah, so definitely very well played by Adrey over here, which actually had like a very good overall day 5 compared to the previous days that he had. Picked up a lot more points, and definitely both of the players feel like they can still win with a Riley on just the battlefield, but the difference is shown here on the screen.
Yeah, a win for Adrey then there to reclaim a point against Paic. It is 1-1 in that matchup there. Say again, we were saying in the break about Kinky, just how powerful it can be when it does get the chance to be on the field, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It still has that potential for that skill 1 into a skill 2. The skill 2 has one of the highest multipliers in the game. Sure, it can't crit, so therefore it has to have a higher multiplier, but it's just a lot of damage. We have seen that unit hit like 15k, 18k on some squishier units on that armor break, which is just a lot. If there's multiple armor breaks, it will take out units off the field.
Definitely will, and it couldn't quite answer to a Miles in the first matchup, but right now it did, and that has reclaimed the point for Adrey right now. I think in the leaderboard, he's done a very nice little shift higher up the leaderboard, like you were saying. Say, if all of you want to check it out, make sure you are using Command SWEL or Command EL in the chat, and you'll find out the current stats in that leaderboard. But Riley being picked a lot more in this Summoners War European League Day.
Yeah, definitely. But we also seen in the last match that both of the players that had the Riley on their side lost with the Riley. So it's definitely a form of protection that can do a lot. But in the end, it does need like the right setup. I would say a Riley next to a Julian, insanely strong. But Riley next to some other units, you can still kind of focus those units down. Whereas a Julian you can focus down, and then an AoE heal becomes very strong as that Riley is. Plus that attack buff, plus those cleanses that you bring in, plus that immunity. So there's just a lot of it going next to a Julian. But where the Julian is not there and it's just a Miles that doesn't scale as well on attack, it deals a lot less damage.
Yeah. Is it an omen for future matches? Say, let's find out. Will Riley be in our next matchup, which is going to be Angel versus Rexas? Rexas having a very tough day in our Summoners War European League day at the moment with 2 full losses. These guys have never faced each other in the past 2 seasons, so we have no stats to see exactly what they're going to do in this matchup. But we know Rexas has an Angel in his box, but which one will point to the direction of victory for both of these players? We have our Summoners War European League Day 5. Match 8, set 1 between Angel and Rexas. Let's find out, say, as we're going into the pre-bans. It's going to be a tough uphill battle for Rexas, I can imagine, mentally.
Yeah, definitely is. He came off of 2 full losses, so that's definitely not the most chill way to be able to reset, get into your next match, like mental reset. Let's see how it goes on that one. They're definitely taking quite some time on their pre-bans, but I think we're going to look at LDs.
Yeah, we get there. The Khitan dashing, we saw just how useful it can be. Win rate today, not so good, but overall in the European League, very high. And a Maximilian being taken away from Angel, and we know how well it can be partnered with his other LD in his box, say that Veronica. So does it signal, let's see if you can bring that to the table against me, and a more.
Yeah, let's see. We have a Moore, we have a Finesse, and Asher being picked up very fast. That Asher kind of makes it where Veronica is not going to be as interesting. We did see that Veronica already being outsped by a more of Samy Sepp earlier, where it was actually on a lower lead. So it is not the fast of unit. So it's definitely hard to draft in a Veronica right now. Therefore decides to go for that Heigang and the Jean.
Yeah, the Shan, we know just how much damage it can do when it gets online. Say that skill 2 of the Squall can hit some serious damage. Rexas, I think, is probably going to lean again still to that first turn, right?
Yeah, I definitely would say something along the lines with like a Robo. Robo in general, like either the Wind or the Dark one, are pretty good into a gang. So decides to actually go other way around and goes for a more single target snipe focus, probably trying to take out that Sean pretty fast. But let's see what Angel has to decide to pick against those.
Yeah, Bella making 1 appearance so far in a Summoners War European League. A few other players do have it, but now Rexas is deciding to use it. Can do a lot of damage when in the right circumstances, and especially with those artifacts, right, Say?
Yeah, definitely those artifacts do a lot of damage. Seema being picked up. Haven't seen that one today yet, but it's definitely a unit we do see being picked up on the leaderboards quite a lot more next to that Monkey.
Yeah, Mei Hu Wang, a stonewall in our Summoners War European League, say. And actually, Zima so far only played around 4 times. Volantis and answer straight away there to it, say as well. Does that indicate a Heigang ban?
Yeah, I definitely would say that you have to ban the Heigang, but on the other side, probably have to ban that Volantis.
There we go. Heigang being banned out and Volantis being banned out. Mind games as we're going into the speed lead of our Summoners War European League Day 5, Match 8, Set 1 between Angel and Rexas. That Escher is going to be moving first. Will he look to boost up the team, or is there any strips available going with the skill 3, say?
I would probably look to boost, because the attack bars are too slow to actually just go cleanly for a skill 3 right away. So in this case, who are you gonna land it on? Are you gonna go for the Sean? Does go for the Sean. This is gonna do a lot of damage on that armor break. How much damage do we do? Focus shot. That is a lot of damage. Doesn't fully take him out though, so decides to spread the damage a little bit by stripping another unit, but there was enough damage on that armor break from the Sean to still kill that unit.
Yeah, confirming the kill there through using that skill 3 on a different opponent. Now Moore is going to have a little bit of an answer. We're going to get a little bit of healing from that skill 1, say. Monkey business time?
Well, monkey business time, but on the other side we have Bella, and Bella definitely has some business that can look very much like monkey business. A lot of pushbacks going in, a lot of damage going in. However, she's not as great on like a passive of taking that many turns as the monkey is.
Oh, big stun there on that Bella though, not allowing to take a turn soon. And Monkey will be cycling very soon if Segar doesn't have an answer for it.
Yeah, also the turn order is not in favor for Rexas. If the monkey actually moved in front of the Bella, he couldn't really kill it because of that Vanessa pass. But in this case, it was perfectly fine to kill it at this moment.
Yeah, and he's going to be tunneling more damage into there, not allowing Vanessa's skill 3 to cycle anytime soon. Is it going to be enough? Not quite yet, but that monkey will have something to say.
Yeah, the monkey, that is definitely the special thing about the monkey. The monkey pass that makes him faster and faster as the moment goes, or like the match goes on. Where it was actually moving before the Bella before, it is now moving, or where it was moving after, it's now moving before because of the passive. And yeah, we're definitely looking at some monkey business over here.
Yeah, monkey business is not going to be able to stun on that Vanessa. She's going to be able to put a defense break out, but there is a bomb on that Esche, so he's going to get stunned likely in that next turn.
Yeah, definitely gonna take that stun. Oh, trying to tumble in more damage on the team, at least taking that unit off the field. Asher could not resist that bomb, and we're gonna get some... Oh, silence is in.
Silence is preventing any skills from, apart from skill 1, say. But the provoke can be useful at times, but against 2 fire units at the moment.
It is very difficult. We could see a jump from skill 1, does go from skill 2, does land the armor break, but probably would have rather seen it on the monkey than the mortar.
Yeah, and Monkey now channeling that damage into the Vanessa just to try and prevent the revive.
Yeah, the revive, would you actually place it right now? Because the Vanessa is most likely the next one to die. However, if you revive anyone right now, that unit will probably be focused by the monkey. So it's a difficult position. Goes for the revive, goes for a Valor revive, but the Valor revive is only 8.6k, which this monkey probably will do with 1.5 times.
Yeah, exactly. He's got way too much damage now being stacked through, say, and he's just going to be plowing through the enemies.
Yeah, definitely a difficult situation. That monkey pickup on that last draft was definitely very strong, because in the end, you could take out my Sean, definitely no problem, and then the monkey starts cycling, then the monkey starts taking turns, then the monkey starts armor breaking, can't be stunned, just takes over the match.
Yeah, I know. Crazy times for Rexas right now. That is 5 set losses in a row for him. He needs to bring something back to have something from today now. Summoners War European League say Meihu Wang was the answer for Angel there against him, and he's currently sitting on a 52% win rate overall in the Summoners War European League. He had a heavy first few league days, but he's brought back that monkey business for you. Pre-bans, are we like to see him more? Yes, with the Veronica.
Yeah, Veronica being pre-banned, so we do have the Maximilian on the side of Angel. Rexas does not have the option to go for the Moor right now, but probably likes to pick up that Asher because he doesn't like to give away that first turn.
Yep, he's probably going to be stealing that straight away, so it's there, but not as quick as we maybe thought there, say. Is he going to change things up and go a bit more bruiser?
He could maybe even steal a Hey Gang, because we do know that Angel likes to use units which are also somewhat counted by Hey Gang. So it could be an early Hey Gang, maybe he was thinking about that, but in the end still goes for an early Ash, and then we see the Hey Gang on the enemy side.
Yep, Hey Gang coming straight in there with a Maximilian as well, say very strong with the leader skill of the 24% speed. Now Rexas, is he going to continue for that first turn, take another high speed unit or a high speed lead, a Vanessa?
I definitely do think you have to go for either speed leads and then also speedy units. You could go for like an Oliver combination with a Zekmet or something to go for those single target resets, but going turn 2 right now is definitely very dangerous into a Maximilian.
Yeah, we've got familiar picks, right? It's a Chandra and a Cigar. We've said that name so often here. Zibala. We saw it come up very strong last week with the Barbo using it and partnered with a Wind Robo.
I'm definitely liking those picks over here. The only issue is that the Asher is already on the side of Rexas, so that unit will probably take the first turn in this matchup, depending how fast that Zibala versus the Asher is. But I would say both of the players kind of have to lock in speed leads, otherwise speed leads will most likely be removed off the battlefield. So let's see if Rexas does not decide to go for a speed lead.
But he decides to take another high base speed unit there, say, or at least build on it with the Sonya to try and snipe something out. I think Angel also has to take that speed lead, like you were saying, right? Maybe, was he picking the Samath earlier, or was it someone else?
Yeah, he was picking a Samath earlier. He could also go for an Oliver. It's a little bit more tricky into Junos, but I definitely do think that he has enough other units on the field where he could possibly do it, because Zibala, since her recent change, can actually win 1-for-1s against Junos, but decides to go back for monkey business. But in this position, I think you have to ban out speed leads.
Yep, speed lead coming out, banned on the side of Angel, but we've got a Sonya banned on the side of Rexas, allowing him to have that Chandra speed lead. Defense lead for Meihu Wangse. It's our Summoners War European League Day 5, Match 8, Set 2. Angel versus Rexas. Rexas really needs to regain a point here, say. Can Escher do the business for him? And he does outspeed that Zibala. There's no speed lead, though.
Yeah, there's definitely the issue with Rexas will take turns right now, and it will definitely look in his favor for quite a little bit. But we have that monkey on the battlefield right now, and the monkey's once again pretty hard to kill. Like, there's no really a good armor breaker that can hit on that monkey. There's definitely a lot of damage coming in that. But we're definitely going to be looking at like the late game of this match. Can we take out that monkey later on?
Yeah, he's going to have to try and set it up maybe with the Cigar skill too, but it's off element, right? So it's going to be tougher to get it landed on there. Does he go for it already?
No, you definitely don't go for it because it's just a one-turn armor break. So definitely in this case, you do have the Masker up. I think he killed with the Masker last time, so therefore you rotate Masker. So definitely doing a lot of damage over there. Monkey is pretty much back to his full stacks, but the moment that it's actually... Ooh, that stun is huge because that Masker would have actually killed the unit over there.
Still going to plow in the damage to that Zibala. It's not looking healthy at the moment. Is it going to be enough from a Chandra? Likely not.
Ooh, not enough damage. Now we have the monkey entering. Can go for the armor break. Doesn't get an addition turn. With addition turn would have been able to stun, but in this case we do have the massacre. Once again can rotate a massacre by killing a unit.
Yeah, taking out that Zibala already. Again, the provokes can be coming out right now. Manages to get it on.
That is a huge provoke, plus the defense break, and actually taking half health on that defense break. That's definitely huge. We once again still have the massacre going in, plus we have that slow. And that is how you take out a monkey. You slow it down, you speed up your own team, and then you can drop as much damage, where it doesn't really take too many turns, where it doesn't go for all of the healing, where it doesn't go for monkey business, where it doesn't go for armor breaks. Stuns, you don't matter on it. You massacre it, and it's off the battlefield, and that's how you take out a monkey, and that will be the victory for Rexas.
Wow, Rexas managing to get a point on the board for today now, Summoners War European League there. Say, I think really from that match we can see just about kind of biding your time, setting up for that perfect moment, especially against the Meihu Wang. We've seen how strong it is in our Summoners War European League, but you have to wait for the right moment, like you said, with those debuffs on the unit.
Yeah, absolutely. In this case, the monkey didn't have that much protection because monkey in a 1v4 is always difficult. Monkey in a position where the units are a little bit lower on HP, the match goes on a little bit longer, that's where the monkey really shines. But if it's early on the match and you're just not taking any turns at all, yeah, definitely at some point you can also take out the monkey, and then it's not as deadly as we've seen in match 1.
Yeah, not as deadly, maybe a bit more of a call out to the monkey action that was happening in our League Day 1 and League Day 2. And for all of you guys, if you're ever wanting to find out what happened in any of these matches, make sure you are going to the website. You can see the recaps on our YouTube channel in order to see exactly how things have got to exactly how they are right now in the current standings there. Say, we are going to be moving on into our last match of the Summoners War European League Day 5. It is going to be Guts versus Samy Sepp. Say, what do you think of these two?
I think that Samy Sepp is really a player that likes to play around his comfortable play style, whereas Guts plays everything. And then everything we have seen and everything we haven't seen. So this could definitely be a very matchup. However, now thinking about it, we had Samy Sepp also going in with that comp with the Layla, with the Hey Gang, with the Water Jennifer and all of those kind of units. And the enemy was never taking a turn. So Samy Sepp might be also having some surprises.
Let's see, these two actually have faced each other a total of 6 times over the past 2 seasons, with Samy Sepp currently having a 67% win rate, say, over Guts. So as we're going into this matchup, it might be more of the same from Ladder. And also just to mention as well, says these two guys actually do share one LD unit as well. Probably likely not to be seen during this one. It is a cracker. Guts not having so many options, but we know Samy Sepp with that Ziana, with the Wedgeat, the Neftis, the Maximilian, very, very strong picks in this part of the competition, right? I'm very excited for this one. Do you think it might come down to those specific units being played?
Yeah, I do think so. And I think also Hey Gang plays a really specific role in this. But the difficulty with Hey Gang is normally Hey Gang counters a player that has like a Neftis or a Maximilian and all that kind of good stuff. However, Samy Sepp has a Tian Lang, and Tian Lang straight up counters back at it the Hey Gang again, because you boost the whole team. No, you boost less, and I boost myself. So for that reason, Tian Lang is super strong in the box of Samy Sepp, and that might be a dangerous one over there.
It might be. Things sometimes break, but don't shatter. Who will take the first wound and potentially lose a cracker-ing match? As we go into our Summoners War European League Day 5, Match 9, Set 1, between Guts the Berserk and Samy Sepp. We've got the ban there from that Tian Lang say. Maybe we'd see a Hey Gang then during this match, and an Escher as well.
Yeah, we're gonna see that more, and we have that Escher also being banned. Is Samy Sepp gonna go for an early Hey Gang right now? Does like to pair the Hey Gang with that Neftis early on, and does lock that in as well.
Actually, he was just checking as well there. Say at the moment, Samy Sepp currently sitting 3rd in the Summoners War European League after today's action. So he will be wanting a 2-set win in order to get to the top of the leaderboard and share the current spoils with Paic. Wind Robo being picked up there by Guts then. Is he going to look to opt in for maybe even a Sekhmet or something, say?
Very strange pairing of a Bracuni into a Hey Gang this early, because in the end, Bracuni takes a turn, cleanses something, Hey Gang gives everyone a little bit of attack bar. So not really, it's kind of a little bit too much of saying like, oh, I'm gonna Robo, I'm gonna turn 1. And it's like, no, I'm actually gonna Raccoon and I'm going to do what exactly? But that is Guts, that's Guts playstyle. And that sometimes works out very well, sometimes not that much. But Samy Sepp is definitely thrown off like, okay, I'm not entirely sure what you're playing right now, but he goes to comfortable picks, which we have seen quite working a lot. Oh, actually, reverts back to it. Masha and the Wedgeat. I definitely do like the Masha in this position a lot more than I would have liked a Meowing.
Yeah, look at that. Miles potentially being partnered up with the Raccoony. I think it was SWC last year, say, as well, where we did see that crazy Raccoony tech from Guts the Berserk against Ababa with the super swift, fast Raccoony in order to answer it against his opponent. Maybe he's prepared something similar for Samy Sepp. Miles, we've seen doing a lot of damage, having a good amount of stuns as well on that skill too going into the matches. Oh, we see another Coco. Is this a Vamp Coco?
Yeah, we see in Coco before as Vamp, but could this be a swift Coco that is going to be followed up by a Raccoony and then getting the extra turn? In this case, on the draft of Samy Sepp, we're only looking at one stripper once again. So if the units are wheeled on the side of Guts, which is a little bit less likely with a Miles and a Raccoony, it might be that Hey Gang ban once again.
Let's see who they are going to ban out right now. Is it going to be that Coco, Glen Coco? Let's find out as we're going into this bans. It is going to be the Moore and the Neftis banned out. So speed leads have been locked out. Apart from the Wedgeat, who's going to take the speed lead for Samy Sepp, and Miles with that big defense lead. Now, Summoners War European League Day 5, the final match 9, set 1 of this league day. Guts of Berserk versus Samy Sepp. Wedgeat is going to be moving first, boosting everyone on that team state.
That is a very slow Coco. That looks like a Leo counter kind of Coco played in a team without the Leo. So I'm not sure if she's actually ever going to be taking a turn, because nope, that's a difficult play right there.
Yeah, she's going to be taken out right now. Is he going to confirm a kill? No confirmed kills here, sir.
Yeah, we don't. Well, I would say Sienna moving next, all of the other units moving next. I kind of agree on that one. It's fine to actually lock in that damage somewhere else. Maybe take out 2 kills in that case. But yeah, that's... Samy Sepp is in the driver's seat.
Yeah, he's definitely being taken out right now. Guts. You can see just how crucial it was actually with taking the speed lead with that Wedgeat right there, because Raccoony was built pretty fast.
Yeah, it was definitely pretty fast, and I think it was built to boost up that Coco specifically, but I'm not entirely sure if you have a Coco that slow in a matchup. Like, if you have a Coco that slow, it's totally fine in a Leo matchup. That's where you see her more commonly. However, in this case, it's not there, and then, yeah, you just have to be paired up with a Raccoony, and then Raccoony has to actually boost it multiple times. Not entirely sure what the play was there.
No, and now it is Raccoony and Miles versus the world. In maybe lower ranks, it can work pretty well, to be honest, say. But right here at the top of Summoners War European League, it's going to be difficult because Marsha can cycle through and get some defense breaks.
Yeah, definitely we have the cycling, but we also have the cycling from that Wedgeat. Wedgeat is just adding in more and more buffs, giving everyone just a little bit more attack bar all the time. And we have those pushbacks from the 2 Beast Riders, because they both share the same second skill, which actually pushes back and gives themselves attack attack buff, or attack bar, that one. On how many debuffs there are on the enemy. So definitely very well cycling units over there.
Samy Sepp taking that first point against Guts of Berserk in our league. Now, League Day 5, match 9 there, say. That is actually going to already put him into second in the league right now. If he can get another point, it will put him up to joint first position at the moment. Guts the Berserks are currently at 6th on the leaderboard. If he can get a point, he can jump all the way up into 3rd. So it's huge for him right now, as we see Neftis being banned out and a Hey Gang.
Yeah, definitely that Hey Gang ban is something Samy Sepp likes to utilize himself, but doesn't like to play against. So therefore, I wouldn't be surprised if people would pick it up as first against him. But in this case, if it's banned out, can't do it, can confirm that more for himself.
Yeah, Escher being picked again with a cigar. Tian Lang, a very quick response right there as well from the side of Samy Sepp. And again, another Beast Rider.
Also, we're playing very fast blitz kind of style of RTA picking right now. Locking in that Vanessa and that Camilla, going in for the double Valkyries against those. So definitely a Bruiser's matchup on the side of Guts again. Samy Sepp still saying like, nah, I'd rather like to take turn 1 and go for AoE CC kind of style.
Yeah, he's bringing in so much damage, especially with those skill 2s, getting that attack bar like you were mentioning, say, and doing more damage with his Iana, the more debuffs that he can get out on the field. Oliver to panel up to allow a 30% speed lead.
Yeah, definitely some nice units on the side of Samy Sepp. Guts has to be looking at like, okay, how can he counter all of those units? And normally, sometimes with the draft, you have like, oh, I can lock in a Douglas that could maybe solo things. I could lock in a Terrace that could solo things. All of those kind of units that are normally good for that can't really do it. So he goes for a Valagil. So he's hoping for something not to get stripped, not to get pushed back, and therefore maybe can take over the match, but it's off the battlefield.
Yeah, it's often that's why he banned out that Moore as well, because it was the option for the strips there. Say we're going to get the 33% speed leads from both these guys in our Summoners War European League Day 5, match 9, set 2, the last set of today between Guts the Berserk and Samy Sepp. Can Samy Sepp step up to the top of this leaderboard, say, with Escher going to be taking that first turn?
So in this case, What do we have moving next? We have the TL lane moving next, getting a very crucial stun on that Vanessa, so that only allows one strip, so we do have the Oliver still being able. We do get provokes also on the Masha, that's definitely very crucial though.
Yeah, it's all about trying to dismount these beasts, right, say. The moment they're down, the defense breaks can't come out apart from the Tian Lang on the field.
And that is a lot of damage just by the sliver of health, not enough to actually fully dismount that Sienna, so definitely Sienna is very high on damage, accuracy and everything like that. But tanky stats, you can't have everything. It's too difficult to ruin these Beast Riders with everything. So for that reason, it's going to be taken out right now. But we still have the Marsha going in here. Oh, once again, a very hard hit, but that cycling of the skill 1 into a skill 2, not on the right target to freeze.
Yeah, now he's going to be piling more damage to get another Beast Rider dismounted there, say. Oliver's going to try and prevent Cigar from taking a turn anytime soon and maybe get some cool times inserted into him. Oh, going Vanessa instead?
Yeah, going in Vanessa. I saw what he was doing there because the Marsha has the skill too. If you were able to reset that Vanessa, you could have killed that Cigar. Because he actually missed it, he couldn't have went for it.
Here we go then. Vanessa is not going to land the defense break, say, and the Cigar is going to be going down pretty soon, I would imagine.
Yeah, it's going down pretty soon. However, the issue is that Vanessa's still on the field and that Camilla's taking additional turns, healing a little bit every time. And she's providing those slows. But Despair on Oliver, we don't see that all too much. I'm still not sure personally if I like it a lot more. It is interesting if you can land those Despairs. However, if you happen to get stunned yourself, you cannot proc out and just revert that whole match. So I'm not too sure if I'm liking it. But let's see if it can land some more Despair stuns.
It did get that Despair stun on the Escher. And that is going to allow the kill on the Cigar, but it is going to get revived, say. And is it taking that turn? Yes. Provoking defense break.
Provoking defense break and a whole lot more coming in with the third skill. Once again, provoking that Masha not being able to do exactly what she would like to do.
Yeah, setting up, I think, now for the Camilla to try and get the S1 on the Oliver, maybe for the kill. Glance in there.
Doesn't exactly get that kill, but it's going to be an uphill battle. Even if you take out the Cigar right now, even if you take out the Vanessa with that, you're still going to be fighting that Camilla, and that Camilla can do a lot of work against the units of Samy right here.
Yeah, definitely against that Marsha, because it's the only real form of... Oh, defense break set up. Does it land?
Does land. Takes it out with a 15 into a 23k. That is a lot of damage, but on the other side, we have another like 20k plus locked in on that Tian Lang, doing a lot of these damages both. Also, this Camilla, 15ks. Camilla one turn, and that's... Marsha's gone, and Samy knows that that's our very high damage units right there.
Wow, Guts the Berserk bringing it back 1-1 against Samy set. That's going to jump him up into joint third position at the moment, say, in the Summoners War European League. Wow, what? That was some serious damage from both Valkyries coming out there, say, right?
Yeah, absolutely. That Camilla was definitely focused on crit damage for attack on the 6 was doing a lot of damage. And that's also how I like it being played, because if you go for more passive style, it's nice if you really want to focus on those bruiser fights. However, if you just only pair it to say like, okay, I want to kill these fire units with this unit specifically, then just go full on damage. And that's what Guts did, and it definitely worked out very well over here.
Definitely worked out very well for him, and he's managed to get a point on that Summoners War European League. For all of you in the chat, make sure you are using Command SWEL or Command EL in order to find out everything that's happening during the Summoners War European League. That is actually all of the matches that are going to be happening this league day, but we've still got plenty of league day matches to come, and eventually those playoffs, say, as well, going further down the line, where these players are going to be trying to prove themselves to be the best of Europe and what it has to offer, right? What do you think of some of the matchups from today?
Definitely had some very nice matchup. We saw a lot of very, very close matchup with like the Kinky. We saw it with the Marsh. We saw a lot of Marsha today. I think that was probably, besides the normal picks that we see being picked a lot with the Moor, the Cigar, the Escher, I think Marsha is definitely one of those units that we did see a lot. But you know what we also see a lot? And that is what we get every week, is one of those. Boop.
Here we go. If you haven't seen it below, it is our coupon code for you guys for watching SWEL Rocks. That is going to get you 1 mystical scroll and 200k mana stones as well, guys. So make sure you enjoy that right now. And all of the things that have happened today, a lot of 1-1s actually, say, across the field, a lot of split points. That's going to shape things up very nicely on our Summoners War leaderboard, which will also be shared very soon. Rexas had a very tough league day this week, right?
Yeah, definitely. And also interesting to see, anyone that was on the right side never won. So none of the people on the right side had like a good day. So if there was a win, it was on the left side.
Yep, so always make sure you're on the left, guys, and we can see the leaderboard there right now. Paic and Samy jumping up all the way to first and second position. Guts even back up to fourth there right now. Angel, Adrey, and Rexas actually still all managing to be in the qualified spots right now, but those 4 players below them have still yet to play again. And that is Pinkroyd, Glorious, Hanselot, and Nicesmicer. Any surprises for you there?
Well, I would say Hanselot and Nicesmicer, sure, they still have to play their matches, but I didn't expect those 2 names all the way at the bottom. I would say that Pinkroyd is more of in a comfortable position because he still has matches to play and he's already on the same points as Adrey and close to the others. But yeah, definitely about Hanselot and Nicesmicer, I'm quite surprised.
Yeah, let's see how they can manage to figure things out. There is still plenty of time in the Summoners War European League. They will be playing next week, and we'll be looking at those fixtures as well, so we can kind of see exactly what is going to be coming for us and you in order for the Summoners War European League. Like you were saying there again, Marsha. So we had kind of the time of the monkey last week. We had the time of Marsha this week. Who are you expecting the time of next week?
Let's see, we're also kind of closing in on the balance match. I think it's a little bit further. It won't probably be next week. I'm not even sure if it's going to be in the league. It might be. One of the last few... It might actually be on the playoffs. That would be interesting. What do you think? Playoffs? Balance match? It's like, hey, it's something I can guess. You can say anything. Like, you know, I don't.
My lips are sealed, my friend. But we do have the schedule for day 6 there right in front of you, where we will have Glorious, Hanselot, Nicesmicer, Obabo, Tito Gofflet, and Pinkroyd. So some really big hitters there, say. Any match that stands out for you?
Well, it's looking amazing. Those are definitely... I would like to see Glorious. He's kind of low on the leaderboard right now. I definitely would like to see how he's going to... play on that. Same for Nicesmicer. We have Tito Gofflet, played very well in the first few matches, so definitely very well. I would say like a lot of fireworks, because all of the names on the right side is also just fireworks. So I just see fireworks next week.
Yeah, fireworks. Maybe, I don't know, there isn't a monster with a firework noise, right? Because we had the dolphin as well with Miles. We need a monster with fireworks so that we can watch that one next week, right?
Yeah, something like that. Would be something like a Chinese New Year kind of skin on a specific monster that then throws like fireworks. That would make sense.
That's homework for all of you in chat. We need to find out. Let us know at the start of next week as well, so we can prepare ourselves for all of those wonderful noises. And if you haven't already, make sure you are playing with the sound on. You wouldn't have known about the dolphin otherwise, right?
Yeah, that's definitely like a... Yeah. I've never heard that dolphin. I think if you ask that as like a trivia question somewhere, people are not going to know that.
Well, now they should know it. So if you're at any of the events that could be coming up for the rest of the year, make sure you're prepared for that. Maybe there's questions that could get thrown around as well. Say, wow, what a crazy league day for certain people. Some real big jumps on the leaderboard as well. And I think with that as well, we can say to all of you lovely viewers, we will see you next week at 8 o'clock, same time, same place. See you guys.
See ya.